destroyed for security reasons.
De seguridad.
Ladies and gentlemen, all this is Southwest Airlines HA Council HA announcements only. If you're going to Chicago Midway, on flight 3718 to Chicago Midway, your new gate is 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎. 3718 to Chicago Midway is 𝒏6. If you are going to Nashville on Southwest flight 284 to Nashville, your new gate is 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒑. Thank you.
Now, properties on people, but we're one of the lucky ones who look like expenses and things like that. It's 2 doors away, our neighbours.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Trump first one. We're just getting prepared to get about to time. We really shortly appreciate you all coming in as orderly fashion. 5 times I'm making it down to get to work to be ready for the budget. Appreciate it.
No flat tire's gonna stop me from getting beer money. Come on! Is that a scratching win? Oh, fuck! Come back here! Come on! What the fuck is this breeze? You're telling me everything in there was poison ivy. Great. Shiny. Wait, is that my wedding ring? Whoa! Hey, is that the Chargers game? I got money on that game. What was the score? What is this? Chosen one. Welcome. Who are you? Where am I? Wait, are you married? Ha! You are in the Golden Hardware. This is where the divorced dad relics are kept, and I am their keeper. Whoa. Are you Morpheus? I am not Morpheus. Sounds exactly like something Morpheus would say. Come, follow me.
How you doing, folks? Happy Nick stream. We're getting our Friday on. Appreciate you being with us here. It's a pleasure to have you with us today on Nick Street Friday. Flying out of Las Vegas, Harry Reid International, on our way to Chicago O'Hare. Flying Trump Force One today. Should be a nice flight and in-flight entertainment. Not too much weather. Should be nice calls and everything. Kick back, relax. You're flying Nick Street. Appreciate it. Absolutely incredible. Flying over the desert out of Las Vegas. We are doing well, except for this little overspeed we got. And that's because we got our flaps still up. We should have broken apart at this speed. But it's a beautiful thing that we're flying Trump Force One, a powerful plane that can handle all sorts of anchor baby shenanigans. Getting on up to our cruising altitude of 39,000 feet here. Should be smooth climbing. Once we get up there, I'll be opening up turning on the airphone, turning off the seatbelt signs and all that. You can kick back, relax. Flight attendants will be coming down for service. Once we get those seatbelts off and we're up in the air, we can get everybody into the Ballers Lounge. I do have some backed up first class tickets, and I do appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be here, though, with all of you on a Nick Stream Friday. How is everybody doing? You have to turn down that plane noise. So I'm trying to talk to the people here. Let me say hello to the folks. This is your captain, the American Anchor Baby. How is everybody on this fine Friday? What's up, Mr. Pink, Nessio, Steve, C, Mr. Mad? How you doing? The real Mr. Mad. That's a very nice. Lin Yan Chin, Thomas, be fit to be fit. It's a pleasure. Everything is fake. How you doing, Darren? DJ Darren in the chat. Appreciate that. Frederick, an absolute pleasure. Everybody, how was your Friday? Hey, Doom Jesus, Tar Baby Yoda, yes, Gunner. Yes, Gunner, my bad. We don't have to go around making everything ghetto. And that's a lot of people in my chat. I appreciate it. Delighted to be here and everybody else watching. Let's get our next stream on. Kick back and relax. We're still climbing right now. There's some news to get into. TikTok, the subway shooting. But there's plenty of fun stuff. Mexico is reeling at the death of a Japanese man. Incredible. And other fun stuff. We'll be getting the phone lines open in a moment here, which I should probably have that ready to go. So, an absolute pleasure. So we're in the cockpit right now, still trying to get on up there, climbing beautifully. And with a little bit of patience, you will have flight attendants coming down. You're clamoring, don't worry. I see y'all. I hear the noises. We're just getting the airphone situated. And maybe when we land, we can do some other shenanigans. What's up, Carver? Welcome. How you doing? Okay. Doing some logging in. Bear with me. What the? Google? What do you want from me? Google? What the heck does Google want from me? Dang, you're so secure, Google. Thank you. You know how Google is. Google is trying to take over. If you know anything about what's going on with TikTok and censorship. Just browsing, just having a nice Friday, browsing Twitter, chilling out. First thing I see, Elon Musk, dang, kicking off Friday. A friend of mine suggested I clarify the nature of the danger of woke AI, especially forced diversity. If an AI is programmed to push for diversity at all costs, as Google Gemini was, then it will do whatever it can to cause that outcome, potentially even killing people. Dang, Elon. Buzzkill. Jeez. Might get into that. Okay, 24,000 feet, looking beautiful. Trump Force One. Everyone is comfortable, even in the back. You don't have to be in the Ballers Lounge when we're in Trump Force One. Beautiful skies, no weather. On our way to Chicago O'Hare. I'm going to drop you off in Chicago. I don't know. I just thought it's central. You can make your way somewhere else from there. Okay? Calm down. Okay. Should we wait? I don't think we need to wait. Okay. We have ballers clamoring, and there's no need to wait. So flight attendants, be careful unbuckling them. Don't worry, we're not gonna have a sudden drop, and where you'll find yourself on the roof of the plane. Don't worry, we're not gonna have a sudden drop like that Boeing did in that LATAM Airlines flight. This is Nick Stream. That's not happening. Calm down. So unbuckle them, ladies. Get them down into the Ballers Lounge. You know how it goes. It's been cleaned. It's ready. I hear it's ready. I hear it's ready. In fact, I do. I hear it's ready. Appreciate that, ladies. Okay. Flight attendants, please. Wrestle up the first class super chatters who bought tickets. I'm going to have to go back, in fact, to a while ago. We got Yes Gunner, Santino, back-to-back. Appreciate that. That's from a while ago. You guys are in the Ballers Lounge. I did not forget. We do, in fact, have your tickets. Yes Gunner donated a week ago. Glizza Gang tomorrow. Appreciate that. Yes Gunner, please sit in the Ballers Lounge alongside Santino. Santino, if you're here, if he wakes up late at flight attendants, you know what to do. He writes in his first class super chat, I want to go ahead and upgrade my ticket to first class for tomorrow's show. I got to sit in the Ballers Lounge. We got you now. We got you now, Santino. If Santino wakes up, please let him know. Let him know what's up so that he can enjoy the Ballers Lounge. Please ball it up. Chris, thank you, sir. Chris, we're looking for a Chris. Wrangle him up. Bring him to the Ballers Lounge. Thank you. Thank you. He just writes no message. Just a little funky little emoji. Thank you. Carver keeping it going, I think. Hold on. Hold up. Carver, thank you, says pray for crash so we don't land in Chicago. He would rather die. But Carver, can I let you know that you will die at least in luxury and comfort in the Ballers Lounge? Thank you, Carver. Appreciate that. Appreciate all the super chatters. Just so you know, speaking of the LATAM Boeing sudden drop.
Platform?
Possible but unconfirmed diversity pilots, don't look at me like that, are saying, it's unconfirmed, alleged by me, mainly, with no evidence at all, just to be clear, but alleged diversity pilots in this terrifying
I was awakened and I looked up to see the gentleman that was sitting next to me on the roof of the plane. I'm looking at him fully outstretched with his back on the roof of the plane. And then he came crashing down to the floor. It was insane.
He's like yucking it up. He's like, dude, you wouldn't believe the craziest thing. And he was bleeding everywhere.
You know, I was like, I thought I was dreaming. The plane basically stopped.
You're so quiet. Turn your volume up. Testing, test, test, test. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Check this out. Hold up. Mic, auxiliary. Yeah. Crank that up. Test. Ooh, that might be too loud. Let me know. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Like it almost, the best way to describe it is it just
What's up, Maina?
dropped out of the air instantly. And then it started to tail down, like nose down. And then it just picked up. It just kicked into gear and just took off again.
Hey.
And
So don't worry, we're not having a sudden drop. But I do have realism, some realism settings on right now. So should we, for some reason, have a sudden drop, the flight ends. It considers it a catastrophic failure. Souls lost on board. If we hit any terrain significantly, the flight ends. We die. If we hit the runway and are landing too hard, we die. The flight ends. We got realism controls on. Okay, so a lot of pressure right now for your captain. A lot of pressure right now. I know it's unusual pressure for your captain. Oh, just land safely and don't die. Okay, but you don't understand. A lot of pressure, but don't worry, we're gonna get to Chicago just fine. I'm looking bright and shiny. Hold up. How's that? I think that's a little bit more chill. I think he was on one of your early flights. What a mess. Thank you for the ones in the chat. Appreciate that. Should be nice. It should be louder now. What a mess. Okay, where were we? Where was I? I was tripping about Elon Musk's dangers of AI. They're coming after everybody. You know, it puts the TikTok ban a little bit in context a little bit. I know the censorship thing has really been a thing for a while on the for the conservatives, paying attention to it, seeing Jesse shadow banned and all that. Now it's coming to an interesting head here with this TikTok thing. And I honestly don't know too much. I know Trump doesn't like it, right? Trump TikTok ban. Trump's TikTok flip revives concerns over influence over billionaire clout. Politico. After he spent much of last year of his presidency trying to ban TikTok. That's true. If you remember that, it was a security risk. And it remains a security risk. Chinese-owned app. ByteDance. You know about this. We got noises in the plane. Everybody, these are normal noises. It means good things, I believe. It does. I believe it means we are slowing down the engines. Ah, that's right, because we are just reaching our cruising altitude. Gotta love it. We will be turning on the airphone shortly. 39,000 feet. Gotta love it. But yes, ByteDance. You know, it remains a security risk, but it's not about it's who gets to ban, right? If Trump was doing the banning, it's different. It's completely different, and you know it is. If you give the reins of power to these people, Biden, ilk, etc., it's not looking good. It's not looking good. What happened to freedom of choice? Thank you, Internet Manster, with the first class super chat. He writes, my favorite plane with my favorite pilot. You know what that means, Internet Manster. Please sit in the Ballers Lounge, sir. We got a baller alert. Please sit in the Ballers Lounge, sir. Thank you, Internet Manster. Whew. So, but that's kind of some of the news. I'm not like that well versed on this whole topic. Just wanted someone to mention it, I guess. Kind of like really the overarching news right now. I'm not too interested. It's Friday. We're chilling a bit. They're trying to ban TikTok. And it's particular types. They don't care about fairness. It's about winning. It's about winning this. If you get to say, if your side is the side that gets to say and censor and all that, you control the minds. People are automatons. Input, output. With social media at their hands, it's over. Trump tried to Divest ByteDance. I think that means when you change the owners of a company. So is that like what's it called? What do they call it when the CIA goes to another country and does some shenanigans and changes who runs that country? What's the term? Come on, I forgot it earlier today on Hake News. It's not color revolution, although that might be related. It's not you know what I'm talking about. You guys hear that electric feedback noise? I wonder what it is. It's this mic. It's this mic, and then me having to turn up all the gain just so you could hear me. Regime change. Thank you. Very smart chat. It's regime change. So are they trying to is regime change? That's a business, a company owned by Chinese, right? Divest it so that they have to be forced to sell their American shares to an American-owned, right? Something like that. It's a regime change. It's a coup d'état of a company, and rightly so. These Chinese apps. But it's who's doing the cooing. It's who's cooing d'étating is the problem. So yeah, folks, I don't know. I guess. This is going to require some setup changing. I think I should get to it tomorrow. You know what I mean? I didn't know it was buzzing that bad. I'm like totally hearing it now. I wonder, it's probably worse for you. It needs a setup change. Okay? Let me see if I could turn down the gain but turn something else up. Thank you, Mr. Pink, with the first class super chat. Better get the Chinese CCP out of my phone. They're all over my phone. I have just no problem. I leave the app in the background and everything. There's another coup d'etat. Isn't there another? There's a calls for regime change elsewhere in Israel. You hear about this? I mentioned it in Hake News as well. No, it's not a polka dot shirt. It's like a little diamond shirt, I think. They're like little diamonds. And it's not the sparkly blouse. You know what? For those that know what I'm talking about, do you know what this? Anybody? You guys remember the sparkle blouse? This is in fact not the sparkle blouse, but it should have been. This is actually just little diamonds. The sparkle blouse. Dang. Don't. Is this shirt gonna distract all of you? Are we not getting past this shirt either? You're just not gonna hear a single word I'm gonna say. We're in the cockpit right now. I'm going to open up the airphone. That's 760-515-3855. Let's see if I remember the button. Let's see if I remember the button to, play the little sound, We're playing realism. So I don't have any, I got to know the buttons for real. Oh, look, good thing is the buttons have labels. And I believe I'm looking for this right off. No. Don't worry, I'm a pilot. Calm down. Wait, you can't hear that. You can't hear that because seatbelts off, no smoking sign on. That should have been on all the way from the beginning. You can hear the sound, right? That means you can call in 760-515-3855. Look, we're going for realism here. And we cannot continue until we welcome a newcomer in the Ballers Lounge. And we do appreciate it. That's Frederick talking about, he's with a super chat. He writes, regime change. That's what I'm trying to pull off here. He's going international. That's what he means by going international? What the? I didn't know you were taking a note from the white CIA. I don't know. I'm just doing a bad job of falsely triggering you, Frederick. That's what I'm trying to do here. I didn't know that's what you meant by going international. Appreciate that, sir. Please sit in the Ballers Lounge. Frederick, LA. Beautiful stuff. 760-515-3855. Regime change. The skim says that it's a change in their, you know how the ladies at the skim are, right? They have the pulse on the major politics of America. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said it was time for Israel to hold new elections and criticize Israeli Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay, look, help me out, chat. The anchor baby's ignorant, but I think I might be correct. Maybe he's ignorant. I thought the Jews owned everything, huh? Look at them. They're having a big old fight in Congress. I thought the Israeli right has, you know, I think recently there's been some interesting, reporting on Israel, and I guess you could call it its connection to the Republican Party. And, you know, I've been quite clear. Show me any foreign influence. Not right. Strange stuff. A lot of strange stuff. But look, I'm talking about the people who kind of have kind of gone. I'm not talking about the people talking about real stuff. I'm talking about the people who kind of like, I don't know, have given up, relinquished control. That's kind of what my wheelhouse. Anyways, right? Anger. And my wheelhouse. I'm still trying to overcome that myself. But you understand what I'm saying here? Help me out if this is an ignorant thing I'm saying, because, like, look, I thought they were totally captured the government. If you got Chuck Schumer fighting Benjamin Netanyahu, saying, hey, he's lost his way. I'm looking for someone new. Hey, Israel, go vote someone new. Which, by the way, any nation in the world should know. If America starts having, if American politicians start even having an inkling of wanting different, I don't know, I would just like different leadership in that country. If you just get an inkling of that for an American politician, be wary. You may have American intelligence agencies deep all up in your sovereignty. You know, I'm speaking abstractly because I'm ignorant, but I hope you're following me. Anyways, be careful with that. Israel-Hamas war is in its 5th month. So, hey, if this pans out, Israel doesn't get the money. It just doesn't work out for them. You feel me? I don't know. Just thought it was an interesting thing. A little bit of the news. I'd feel wrong at least not informing you a little bit about what's going on underneath us as we fly. As we fly, beautiful Trump Force One. You know what I'm saying? Not all. Beautiful stuff. And things are going well here at Trump Force One. What else? Talking about gnawing chicken. Should I show you my new favorite cooking channel? Let's talk about gnawing chicken. What are you doing? I got the cooks in the chat. You know, every Friday, most Fridays, we got Mr. Mad. We got others in the chat. They're like, what are you barbecuing this Friday? Tell us. What you barbecuing? I heard some cuts of meat. I read about some cuts of meat. What's for eats over there? We got people eating in Chicago, but maybe barbecuing in Chicago. We got people possibly elsewhere. Share with the chat. Share with the chat. I said that almost like Joel's song. What's wrong with the blacks?
The world's worst looking New York strip steak, and we're
No. We can't watch this one. We need to watch something that's oh, here it is.
Have you ever wanted to see spaghetti cooked in hot dog water?
Okay, this is a good one too, but look, you need to see something that is this person's their actual content, their bread and butter. Okay, they're better. Here it is.
Well, hey there, folks, and welcome back. I guess this may be a first. I can't remember. Have we done a chemical sausage before? So this is food grade, so don't demonetize me. But in the same breath, they also mentioned, you know,
Anchor Baby Chef. Are you sure? I don't know if you want to call me that. This is who I'm calling my new favorite cooking channel.
Can cause skin irritation, so keep it away from.
Shouts out to Ordinary Sausage. Is this guy from Chicago, Mr. Mad? That's funny. It's the Carl Weezer voice. It's just it tickles me in multiple levels.
Bit away from things. It comes in this nice sealed bag. I can't smell anything so far. Oh, there it is. It stinks. It smells exactly like toothpaste. Feels like glass. Am I gonna break out in like a huge rash on my hands? I like the way they sound when they fall.
On my hands.
That looks okay. They're like little shards of poison. But as my mother used to say, a little menthol in your sausage goes a long way. So, you know, I don't think we're gonna overpower the entire sausage with all this. We'll use a good bit. All right, that seems like a good amount of menthol crystals. So what do you think our plan of attack should be? Should we grind this first?
We had one of these for. Oh, did Hake ever post the Wagyu Chronicles over there in anybody know if you ever posted that video of us cooking up the steaks and grinding up the beautiful Wagyu?
It's kind of doing stuff. I think Captain Pork's gonna have to push this load out.
Banned menthol. Zenny, you don't have this in your country. Zenny, this is banned in your country. This is a Schedule 1 drug, and I know it looks like meth, but this is not meth. This is just menthol.
It smells incredibly like menthol, but I would be remiss if we didn't add a little extra menthol crunch to this sausage.
It smells incredible.
All right, and to help balance out that minty taste, we're gonna add some salt, then we're gonna add some pepper, and we'll add some yin to this menthol's yang by adding some red pepper flakes. Just the sound of it rattling around in there is pretty unnerving. And I'm gonna miss you like a child misses their son.
And what I like is what I'm a sucker for is episodic content.
Get in there.
Formulaic. I'm a sucker for a formula, okay? And this guy does he throws out the sausage the same way. He does the same. He goes like ba ba ba. He cooks up the sausage the same way every episode. He does a little shout out to a viewer the same way. I'm a sucker. What's the point of this video? No point. At all.
That's the menthol water. In 3, 2, 1, let's sausage. That'll just about do her. Oh, I feel a big piece of...
Delighted to be here says, kindly send a round of sparkling water and charcuterie to the Ballers Lounge. Excuse me, delighted to be here. Are you joining the Ballers in the Ballers Lounge? Because with that first class super chat, that's a ticket. And I do appreciate the support. I do appreciate it. Please sit in the Ballers Lounge. Thank you very much. That's delighted to be here. Is delighted to be in the Ballers Lounge, I believe. Thank you for that. Renesio, hold up. Hold up. Renesio with a coffee. You can buy me a coffee. Buymeacoffee.com/anchor, baby. I appreciate that, Renesio. He writes, hey, Nick, I figured out the whole broken heart thing. It's about getting a new yo-yo. It's getting a new yo-yo. I think I might understand, Renesio. You might have to explain it to me. But I thank you for the coffee. And you know what that means. Please sit in the Ballers Lounge, sir. Whoa. Sorry about that. Whoa. Please sit in the Ballers Lounge, Renesio. You hear the screaming and clamoring. Please sit in the Ballers Lounge. Actually, I answered something on Twitter. What the heck is this? Who would do something like this? Looks like fireworks in a crowded theater. They say don't yell fire in a crowded theater. Fireworks! Fireworks! Hey, Mr. Mad, I appreciate that. I think you can. I think you can. Hold up. Let me figure that out. Do I just hit you with the cash tag? You can also support me via Cash App. That's cash tag Gorgonzola, GORGONZHOLA. I'm typing it in the chat. If you want a Cash App, your captain and host, the American Anchor Baby. I appreciate that. That was an incredible video. This looks like they wanted to do that. Nobody's running. Yeah, okay, well, whatever. Twitter. I don't know what to tell you. What is the Balloons Lounge? Asked Nesio. How you doing, Nesio? If you're watching the stream right now, you are laying eyes on the Ballers Lounge. It's Ballers Lounge, not balloons. Ballers. You know what I mean? Like a major baller. Like I ball. Like we fly high. No lie. You know this. Someone tell him. Someone tell him how that ends, please. Someone tell Nesio how that one ends. Appreciate that. What's up, Booty Warrior? Booty Warrior. The Booty Warrior in the chat. Thank you. Anyways. What it do? Yeah, earphone is on. 760-515-3855. We're just relaxing here, taking it easy on Trump Force One. Flying to Chicago. How much flight do we have left? I think we got plenty of flight. We're trying to land her easy. And we might get in on some VR. Who knows what we'll get into, okay? We're chilling right now. And yeah. That's what we're doing. Mexico, you seen this? Mexico. Hold up. This is Mexico. They're cheering Akira Toriyama. What was that video from? Dragon Ball fans. No, sorry, this is Buenos Aires, Argentina, to perform a Genki Dama to honor Akira Toriyama. These are Dragon Ball fans. Some claim that 20,000, 30,000 participated. Latin America is reeling from the death of this Japanese man. What's up with that? How come Latin America loves Dragon Ball so much? Akira Toriyama, creator of that manga, anime, Japanese cartoon called Dragon Balls. Okay, you know, it's a cartoon that
call from
has a place in my heart growing up, but and I have a caller here. Just give me 1 second. I don't have it. I never watched it like these fans, you know, like they watch it in their adult years. I just had some thoughts about the whole show in my adult years, but I never did. I don't like watch it like that. So I wouldn't say it's like a fandom of Dragon Ball, but not a fandom of Dragon Ball, but an interesting insight into Akira's mentality and Japanese culture a little bit. Their spirit, what their spirituality is, because yeah, they had it, and they have it / had it. World War II has something to do with it being gone, and a similar sickness, a similar rot, social rot, if you will, is happening in Japan, like it is happening in the West. So interesting. I have my theory as to why maybe the Mexicans like Dragon Ball so much that you might not have heard. But I got a caller, I believe. I appreciate your call, sir, or miss, your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, Nick, it's Nathan in Illinois.
Hey, how you doing, sir? It's been a bit.
Doing well. How are you?
Right on.
What was I want to hear your theory, man.
Pleasure to have you here. Oh, with the Dragon Ball and it's the music.
Yeah.
It's the music, okay? There's actually a very funny similarity between some of this banda and the original, like that original Dragon Ball soundtrack stuff. I think you guys will find the connection hilarious.
Okay. Cool. I tried getting into that. I couldn't really do it.
You're talking about banda, or are you talking about Dragon Ball?
Dragon Ball. Like, it's just, I tried. I was like, I watched the season. I was like, this is pretty cool, and then I just kind of lost.
Are you talking about Dragon Ball Z or the original The original.
I think it was the original. I
like
started
the
with
little
the
kid one?
original.
If there was
Yeah.
if there was something I'd recommend, it would be that. But I guess if you couldn't get into it, it really is a children's thing. So it's not really.
Yeah.
But there's something in I think Dragon Ball that'd be way more palatable, even to an adult. Z and the rest. I
Gotcha.
mean, it really is children's content. So I wouldn't. It would be a slog fest to get through it. I find the themes quite interesting though. There's
Totally. I could
there's
see
racial
that. Yeah.
struggle. There's nationalism. There's there's even like overcoming anger, in my opinion, and Christianity.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. Because Christianity is pretty much like just a universal concept. People are able to get past the Bible
Yes.
and see what it is at a spiritual level.
Totally. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how you been?
Well-
Illinois. How's Illinois? How you doing? We're on our way to Chicago. Yeah, I haven't
Illinois
heard
is
from you in a bit.
interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's chilling, man. I mean, I've just been like, I wanted to talk about crypto a little bit. I feel like the JLP show never talks about it, man.
This is true.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
down. Are you
okay, let's go, man.
Are you an owner of? I mean, you don't have to say, but go ahead. What do you want to say about crypto?
I like Solana. I don't know if you're familiar.
Of somewhat.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be. I don't know. There's like this meme coin thing that's pretty funny. You can it's literally like stock market like. And I was doing that at work today a little bit. Don't tell my boss, but
Investing
it
in
was-
meme
it was-
coins, you mean?
yeah, it was
Can you
fun,
help?
man.
Can you help me out a little? So what makes it a meme coin?
It's basically like a certain blockchain, like Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin. People can make a meme coin out of it. It's just like pretty much an extension of it. That blockchain.
The what are they called? The EC20, the Ethereum.
Right.
When you make a
I
coin out
believe
of the
so.
Ethereum, I don't know, framework. I've heard of this, right? E20 or EC20
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, there's like all sorts of them on
All sorts of
Solana now.
ERC20
Like, you can-
token. An ERC20 token.
Yeah, there's Bowden and like Tremp, and they mess up the names intentionally. So it's like Geo Bowden and like Donell Tremp. It's pretty funny. Like, but like people are making serious money on it. So I was like, oh, I'll dabble. I got burnt on Ladyboy Pepe.
Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna.
I just love that being a serious conversation. That is absolutely hilarious. So man, I just got burned on Lady Boy. What did you call it?
It's called Ladyboy Pepe.
Ladyboy Pepe.
Like
How
Pepe's a
could that
frog.
not have been a perfect investment? I don't understand.
I thought it. I was like, this is the one. And I
There's
was
no
like,
reason
maybe
why that
because
would
of
not
that.
have been a sound investment. I don't understand how that could have gone.
And
wrong.
it totally flatlined. And I was like, oh damn. But I seriously though, like this isn't financial advice for any of the listeners, but the way I see it, I think the dollar is like useless. Your dollar's not doing anything for you at this point. You might as well get involved in some crypto right now. Like whether it's 10% of your income weekly, just give it a shot. You never know. Like you gotta be smart with your money, and I think crypto's the way right now. I laugh at it if you want boomers listening, but I really truly, and Solana especially, I think Solana is going to be a top dog along with Ethereum
You sound
and
like a
Bitcoin.
Solana owner. You sound like an owner of a lot of Solana. You would say that. Hey,
I mean,
I wouldn't disagree with you, man. Look, a lot of players are turning around. You know, even Trump, he's like, yeah, I don't know about this crypto stuff, guys. You know, it's a little more real than you thought. And I don't know about, like, I'm just not knowledgeable, but I don't disagree at all. I'm personally, this is again not financial advice. I'm putting a very small percentage that I put away, right? You know, the Bible says 10% away, right? Be smart with your money. I'm putting a little bit away in some of this stuff too. Just Bitcoin mainly, really. But it's mainly, you gotta understand my mentality, because like what you're talking about, these meme coins and all that, is like gambling straight up. That's like
exactly. It is a little bit degenerate.
It's actually it's kind of degenerate.
Yeah.
If Ladyboy Pepe didn't give it away. That being said, I'm not trying to game any market at this point. You know, get it low or whatever. if it's high, if it's low. I'm putting very small percentages, but I'm putting away bits because, in my opinion, this is my opinion. There's the value here is already there from just the people believing in it.
Exactly, and it's like I totally agree with you on the low high. It's like it's not something you're day trading. Except
Yeah, I
unless
don't see
you're
it
doing
like that.
coins,
It's
but
more like a.
yeah.
It's more like I'm putting just a tiny bit in this basket because you never know.
Right. Yeah.
That's really as far as I've gone with it. So it really is not financial advice.
No. Yeah. It's just
It's
just
an
something to
educated
think
guess
about.
coming from me.
Totally. Yeah. Because if you really think about it, the dollar, like what's it doing? It's losing value. If you could, I don't know. Like I personally, I put a good chunk of my income in.
But are you doing that out of the conclusion that the dollar is going down and that?
Not that's just like a factor. There's other
Gotcha.
factors that.
So as a hedge really against this devaluing of the dollar, because I understand you. Yeah, because like concluding that like the dollar's going down, it's like, hey, hold up, there's an election coming up, like economies come back, like have a wait and see attitude and all that. You've heard this. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Who's the creator of Ethereum again? He's a fascinating character.
Ethereum?
No?
I don't know. I know Bitcoin is like Satoshi something.
Which we don't even know if that's a real person, right? Right,
yeah. Well, I feel like it's just like some fat guy. Some fat white guy, like floppy behind the computer.
I'll call
like,
this.
Mom,
my username is Satoshi. Yeah, I'll be Satoshi.
That's my suspicion.
Yeah. I know that Vitalik Buterin, or whatever his name is, the creator of Ethereum, is an interesting guy.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that name.
I remember kind of reporting on something about him. Let me see if I remember, because I remember it being quite interesting. I think he's basically a total liberal. Nothing to be surprised of there.
No, yeah.
But what was it? Do you have any Bitcoin?
No, I mean.
So you're going full degen. Well, I don't know. Solana, is that a degen thing?
No, Solana, itself, I think is a safe play. Personally, like, I've seen it. It was at $50 a few months ago. I had some and I sold it, and now it's at like $180, and it's just been steady increasing. So I don't think that's a degenerate play, Solana. But Bitcoin, definitely the safe play for like long term. But I'm playing it a little bit riskier because I'm young and I'm able to do that. I heard from a teacher in high school to make your riskier investments when you're younger, and that's just sort of stuck with me.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting thing. A lot of people, even people naysayers, they're like, okay, well, Trump. I mean, he was like, I'm surprised how many people use it, and they use it to buy my stuff.
Yeah,
so I'm sure he likes it. Look, it's become I'm gonna sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. It's become an investment class. It's an investment vehicle all of its own.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, not sure.
Well, I mean, that's all I got, man. Yeah, I mean, it's just something that's really been interesting me lately, and figured I'd call in and spice it up, see.
You know, one thing to say about crypto has been an interesting opportunity for younger people.
Yeah.
As a way of.
I mean, I remember in high school it was like 5 cents for me, and Bitcoin, and I was like, I could have done that, but I would have rather bought some grass.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yep. How many people did the same? That's crazy.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's an interesting thing it's just been an interesting effect on young people there's been some who seem to have broken into a world that otherwise they would never have.
Right. Yeah. And you can see there's kids in high school who are doing mining. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah. I mean, I tried something like that.
Yeah, there's
I tried something
people
like
who have a knack for it.
I wasn't able to make it viable though. the energy costs and all that. I was doing it with some guys. We weren't quite able to make it happen. It was at the time. At the time, I was hustling. I was hawking graphics cards.
Okay.
I was hustling graphics cards because there was a shortage, right? It was hard to get them. The 3000 series just came out, and I was doing some pretty degenerate stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys might judge me, but I was running bots and grabbing these graphics cards. Everybody's like, I can't get my hands on one. I might have been a problem there.
Fine.
But we couldn't make the mining viable. We were mining Raven coin and Ethereum, and we lost money. So I don't know.
I've heard mixed reviews from people on experiences with that. Yeah.
Yep.
I've never done it, but well, I mean, I just wanted to call in, man.
Right on, man. It's nice to hear from you.
Yeah, likewise.
Right on, sir. Well, take care. Call me again.
Yeah, bye for now.
Nice. Absolutely. Beautiful. Right? 760. Where were we? 760-515-3855. If you want to call in.
Trip with your friends.
Beautiful. Okay. Still flying to Chicago. I think everything's okay. We seem to be shaking. We're shaking. Uh-oh. This is not financial advice. You know what's good financial advice? Deal with your ego. You'll need less. You'll save so much money. You'll be able to do anything. For real. I mean that. We are shaking. The plane is shaking. It's because we're going too fast. Don't worry. Everybody calm down. You know what I mean? You're spending a lot on stuff you don't need. You'd be very wealthy right now. Think about it. Some of you probably don't even know how much money you spent on certain things. Imagine if you tallied that up on this or that. Pick one thing. Pick one thing you do. Tally up all the money. That was ego. That's ego keeping you poor. You know what I mean? And it's like, look at all the people who went nuts with the Bitcoin money. You know what I mean? You get money is, I'm talking about something else, right? If you wanted to be someone that makes money, maybe invest in Bitcoin. But I guess now I'm talking about something else. A lot of people want to do well with a sudden $1 million in their lap. It might even kill them. Maybe you don't have money because you don't deserve money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Some food for thought. Appreciate that. Matthew says, invest this in Nintendo game cartridges. A sound investment, Matthew. Appreciate that. You know what that means? Baller's Lounge for you. Sit in it. Sit in the seat. Do it now. Ball away. Ball out. Some Bitcoin. Incredible. Go back. What are y'all saying in the chat? I squander every dollar I've ever made. See? This is what I'm talking about. But you get it. Nick's seat is falling apart. Do you hear it or something? I need a new seat. You're right. Maybe I got to deal with the buzzing and the new seat tomorrow. Hey, Nick. Thanks for having us. Nilda, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Beautiful. 760-515-3855. Trump Force One. What's next here? Oh. Let us see. Oh, yeah, I was talking about Dragon Ball. Akira, they better make a statue. You know, I went to Mexico not to this past Christmas, New Year's. And I saw like a feminism statue. They had a straight up feminism statue. I'm like, get this out of your country. It was like a fist, almost like Black Lives Matter. It was like a radical feminist statue in Guadalajara. Like, Mexico. get a handle of your women. It's happening to y'all. Because they don't have low. It doesn't seem like they have low birth rates. So I don't know. You might want to deal with that. You might want to nip it in the bud. These are the kind of statues you should have. You should have a statue like this. Okay, that would be better. It would encourage masculinity, maybe. I don't know. Mexico, Latin America, showing love, reeling at the death of this guy. They're saying cartel activity goes down when a new Dragon Ball episode comes out. That's a joke. I'm sure it's a joke. I mean, Complex is letting us know that that's a joke. But it's a joke that was going around. But it's not true. It's fake news. It's fake news. I'm just saying. DBZ is legendary. You know, I'm sure a lot of the people who are out there in the streets, look at this, out there in the streets cheering on this whole Dragon Ball thing. Again, I do find it a little strange to be rewatching this children's show a whole bunch. You know, I definitely gave it a try, and it's like totally a children's show. Like, it's not easy to get through. Now, the original Dragon Ball, when he's like a little kid, that one is actually charming, and if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. But that being said, it's totally charming. The themes are just perfect, and they center. They I don't know how to explain this, but do you know who Sun Wukong is? The Monkey King. The legend behind the Monkey King is not unlike a, shall we say, prophet, a John the Baptist, you know what I mean? Like these old kind of like spiritualities that have gone around different cultures. They share a lot of similarities in that the truth is the truth, right? So anyways, I'm getting off the path here. Yeah, it's totally charming, Dragon Ball and all that. Where was I? But what is it? Yeah, put the mic up. Darn. Even more? Test. What the heck? Hold up. Advanced properties. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. I think this is louder. Mexicans love DBZ. So but where was I? What was I saying? I think the similarities in the music kind of got some stuff going on. Where was it? It's in the banda. Where my Mexicans at? Where my Mexicans at? I gotta get it here. I'm also sweating. I'm gonna go get a fan in a second here. Okay. Take this in. This is Dragon Ball. Where are my Mexicans at? Isn't there something kind of Mexican about this? Like very like old traditional, more traditional music. I see your call. Sorry, it's unmuted. 760-515-3855. Okay, this is a more dramatic one, but come on, you guys are hearing it. The instrumentation. Where my Mexicans at? You know how like Mexican popular music kind of taking a lot of lifting a lot of artistically from American like synth music? They have this kind of sound. Okay, I'm telling you.
Y de nuevo el ataque, la fuerza musical de Sinaloa, la banda 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍�.
You feel me? Okay, it's a little different. It's a little different. Okay, it's clearly way more Mexican here. Hey, this one's for Akira. Okay, that's my little theory. Goku is the prince of knowing nothing. He's actually born again, if you don't know that. He's actually a born again Christian. He has no anger and no thoughts. Just saying. Just putting that out there. Okay, and the only reason his nemesis turned friend and person who's always has a thorn on his side, the thorn to his side, he's always trying to be as strong as Goku. He never can, though. Vegeta. We love Vegeta, but he can never make it. Why? Why? There's only one thing holding him back. The thorn in his side. Anger. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Okay, we're in the cockpit. How's the plane right now? How's the plane going right now? We're over speeding. Okay. Whew. Let's calm down the plane. And we got a caller.
Call from
Frederick.
We got Frederick. Frederick, LA. You're on the air, sir.
How's it going? Good afternoon, Nick.
All is well.
Man, look, I'm usually not the one to be the judge of anything, right? I'm international.
Okay.
But since they going crazy for this Dragon Ball in Mexico or wherever, right? Maybe it's because it's boosting the economy with the degeneracy of white males in America. So they cheering on the degeneracy of cartoon watching white males that goes to these tournaments, packing their backpacks in cars, and knowing they'll never be soldiers and never gonna pick up a gun and fight back. And they just wondering like, wow, this little pieces of cardboard boosting our economy. We're set for life as long as we keep this Dragon Ball going. We're gonna keep having money. We can.
You think the government's keeping it going?
Huh?
The Mexican government is keeping it going?
Whoever is making the money.
I think it's simpler.
You say what?
I think it's simpler. Although I bet you're correct. I bet you there are government media people, who knows, in Mexico who are really raking in the money from people wasting their time on cartoons. 100%. I think it's a little simpler. Mexico is female society, and you got all these boys who just don't want to let go of the cartoons. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess God needs a way to distract them so the blacks can come up. You know, it's God's plan. I got to make sense of it. That's all I do is look at the information given to me, and then I got to make sense of it. Like, God, what are you doing here? I don't choose any type of way. I just try to make sense. And, you know, when organizing my systematic order and balance to my life, is all I do is work on me. So if it don't make sense and fit in the order of things, hey, I got to go in. I got to do my research, investigate until it makes sense. And then I'll be like,
quite fascinating. Am I understanding your theory correctly here? The Dragon Ball is a significant enough crutch that the blacks will be able to make it ahead from ahead of the Mexicans here. It's the opiate of the Mexicans, Dragon Ball. Am I understanding you here?
No, Dragon Ball started so long ago that white politicians started watching cartoons and y'all let Barack Obama in. That was y'all first mistake. Dragon Ball didn't just start here recently.
No,
y'all been distracted a long time.
Totally.
So our first black president.
What was that comment about blacks getting ahead?
That was the black president getting in because there was no age available white male because he was still watching cartoons to run against Obama. It was only McCain.
Cartoons and Dragon Ball is the opiates of the non-blacks, keeping them behind enough just for the blacks to get ahead. In fact, to the point of even putting a black in the presidency. My understanding correctly.
Hey, could be. Y'all need to wake up.
Hey, that's not bad advice. It's an interesting theory. It's an interesting theory. I don't know, but hey, it's not bad advice.
How long has Dragon Ball Z been on TV?
Oh,
I didn't watch it.
In America? It's
Yes,
got to
in
be at
America.
least the 90s because that's when Toei. When was the Toei animation in America? DBZ because it was
That's
Dragon
long
Ball
enough
Z.
to get Obama in there.
yeah. You only need. What did Yuri Bezmenov say? You need a generation or two.
That was from Family Guy,
demoralize.
Bart
You just
Simpson.
need a generation or two to demoralize a nation.
Yeah, Bart Simpson, Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane. He's probably the plant.
You're saying these cartoons?
Degenerate. And they've been breeding them since Beavis and Butthead, Adult Swim, whoever, and they're not even real people, they're just voices. They get to do this from home, and it's cartoon drawings, and they got all of these people tuned in every week. And they stretch out one fight for 3 episodes. So the ADHD it breeds is crazy. I mean, they like watching them power up for 5 minutes. I got to smack them like, pay attention.
They don't power up for
Look,
5 minutes.
What?
That's a
They
that's a
powering up
slandering
and then
meme. It's
swinging and
obviously you've
flying
never
through the
watched
air
Dragon
for-
Ball.
Huh?
Slandering memes. Obviously you've never watched Dragon Ball.
You know they power up longer than the regular
They
cartoons.
power up a fair amount, okay? You don't understand how strong the person they're fighting is. They're powering up they're powering up a justified amount, okay? You don't understand.
Yeah. We watched cartoons like that. It was He-Man and Cringer used to power up every time Adam put that sword on him. He turned into He-Man and Battle Cat.
I actually watched a whole bunch of He-Man and Thundercats.
It didn't take 30 seconds.
No, that's true. He just put that sword up in the air. Look, I watched a whole bunch of He-Man and Thundercats growing up. You know any Thundercats? You watch any Thundercats?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know Thundercats.
Murmurer.
The opiate, the opiate of the pharaohs. The opiate of the pharaohs.
Yep.
Thundercats.
That's right. They tried to throw it in there like he was Ra or whatever, and then they tried to make him the bad guy. I knew then. I was like, yeah, I knew then. I always knew. So it don't matter.
That is
Just like they
sincerely
always
funny.
arguing today about who the ancient Egyptians was, who's older, the Nubians or the Egyptians. I let them do their own homework. I'm tired of arguing.
Is there Egyptian propaganda in Thundercats? Is that what you're saying?
No, not really.
Okay,
you know the bad guys. If the bad guys is the pharaoh,
That's
it's
right.
the Egyptians, you know, right?
Yeah.
It's the same. Yeah.
That's actually kind of messed up.
Yeah, it is messed up. Yeah, he was the dude from the Mummy, and he was the bad guy. They was Mumra, and they called him like Ra was his god because he was a dead mummy. But
That is
yeah,
actually
it's crazy.
sincerely hilarious.
Yeah.
Anti-pharaoh propaganda. You knew from the get-go.
Knew from the get-go.
Yeah, Dragon Ball came to America in 96.
Yeah, I graduated before then, so
Oh,
I was
really?
out there in the streets.
Damn.
But I
96
could see the
graduated.
degeneracy growing underneath my feet with the internet. As soon as I got out of high school, the internet, they started pushing it into school and teaching kids how to work it, and they was coming out dumber and dumber.
In what
laptops,
way? What'd you
staying in the
see?
house.
And
I'm like,
and what,
where all the
out
kids
of
that coming out
curiosity,
of the house
what'd you
under
see
me?
coming out at that time in the internet and the downfall?
I seen like MySpace and like I don't know. It was just like girls pulling up on the block like, where y'all come from? They got another dude done called them over on the internet. And we like, how did they know where, you know what I'm saying? They just popping up over these people's houses and we ain't know. So we just parking lot pimping. It just got on. We find out who had the most spots where the fishing hole was, and we'll spit out spots. So whoever was jumping on the internet had it jumping outside in real life. So we just, alpha male wins. Everybody show up, best man wins.
So when the
We'll
internet
take
came
your
out,
girl
people were
and
right
you
away.
couldn't control her.
So right away when the internet came out, people were
Degenerate.
Let's call it creeping on a Thursday
Yep.
evening.
Yep. Getting pictures you couldn't see through the cell phones because you like, I don't know what you look like. Hey,
Flip
you
phone.
ain't coming over here. But now you
like
get
with
to
Kanye
know what
West.
they look like. Yeah.
I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. He would film these like crazy ghetto videos where people were twerking on a flip phone, and this is like classic stuff. I don't know where do you even find this? I saw it on Twitter.
Hey, it was content. He knew,
He
even
knew.
back then, because that's what people wanted to see.
Incredible.
degeneracy. Just like a fight at school. Everybody run down the hallway to go see it. If you post it, that's what you're going to get. Money. You're going to be like, oh, okay, I see. And then I'm like, well, ban TikTok. You think it's going to work?
You know, I think so. By work, you mean is Congress going to get what they want? Yeah, that's what they do. They get what they want. They're very effective. And all this energy behind it, before Trump was trying to do it, so it wasn't going to happen because it's something he wanted. But now Congress, and it seems like both wings of this bird want this. And when they want something, they get it, even if the people don't, right? So I think it's going to I think they will. I think they'll.
Do you know how many other devices China make that has your information in it?
Oh, no, I'm not entirely sure. I imagine a whole bunch.
A lot of software and computers. Anything Bluetooth that your phone walk by, they can hack. Yeah. They don't need TikTok.
That's
if
they
got drones,
really
Chinese drones that's over here that use the DJI software.
Yeah,
they got rights to all of that.
You're actually 100% correct. The security is kind of a luxury of a gone era. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Internet so-called security. There are levels.
They don't have that algorithm.
But your average person, you and I, sorry, what'd you say? My bad.
They want that ByteDance algorithm. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think you're right about that too. And I'm just saying that the internet privacy and security is a kind of a long gone thing as a luxury thing. There are levels. There are levels to this, but in general, I think I'm correct here.
Yeah, you're very correct, because that's what they want. They want the algorithm so they can learn how to pry even more. And they saying with their algorithm being better than ours, we're going to ban their algorithm because they can pinpoint what we like better than we can. And until we learn how to do what they can to spy on our own people, we're not going to let them do it.
Can you explain what
That's
you mean
pretty
a little
much
bit?
what
I'm not too. Can you explain what you mean a little bit by algorithm? So you're saying they want ByteDances. Can you explain what you mean there?
Yeah. The algorithm has a
so they want their technology.
Has an algorithm that, it like out of 5 videos, they can pretty much put you in a box. They can show you, like, you tap on one video, and if you like it, they know what type of videos you like off of the videos just that you watch. And they can put a whole different line of setup to your phone. They'll throw away millions of old videos and say this person only wants to go in this, and we got 2 million videos for this person, and entrench you so deep, your algorithm will look totally different than the person sitting right next to you. You can never see what they see. Yeah, because they know what you want to buy. They know what you like. They like, you can take a test and it'll put you on a map if you're conservative over here. They take these and they got all of this type stuff, and they're like, dang, they don't perfected this algorithm where we could sell them all kind of shit, and we had this, but they got it and we don't. That's
kind of interesting. So you're saying the American companies and government are interested in that. They're interested in the technology. I wouldn't have guessed that or thought that, because I would think they all have their own and are happy, but I guess not. I guess there are some things they don't know. And
there's a lot of they to the fact that they'll put somebody in your pictures or something on Facebook that you like. They have a loved one wearing an outfit that you'll be like, wouldn't even know subliminally. They look like a loved one wearing something I like, and I buy that for her. And they'll get that much like models to compare. Like, it's just messed up.
This stuff is in my thoughts, man. I'll be thinking this stuff.
It's little stimuli and snaps in your brain that excites you, and they record these little stimuli.
Nah, man, they're already communicating with the nano machine spike proteins from that shed off of vaccine people. They're already communicating with that because they know my thoughts, man. They know my thoughts. I'll be thinking something else you add.
No, unless they got your Siri turned on in the crib. I don't know if they can listen to your thoughts. I wouldn't go that far. That's what them meth heads be thinking.
right.
Deep into some stuff.
Yeah. You gotta be tweaking on one for that. That is.
They get you admitted somewhere.
All right, officer. Anything else you want to talk about here before we move the wheels?
No, not at all. But just Dragon Ball Z, I guess that's what the topic is gonna be. I just wanted to put my little 2 cents in. You know, I got to whenever I.
Yeah, nobody's talking
Try
about
to
Dragon Ball like me.
participate,
These
give you some
Mexicans out here,
content.
they're just watching cartoons. Nobody's talking about Dragon Ball the way I do.
That's right. That's right. They happy y'all participating in it. I told you I went to the tournament with JS Urban Adventures out here.
You said what?
Yeah, in LA. I went to that tournament. He did me and JS Urban. He came from Utah, and I took him to this Dragon Ball Z tournament in January.
Oh, for real?
End of January.
It was a tournament about what? What happened?
50. He finished top 50 out of a bunch of people, but I seen the nerds up close in person.
And they were playing what? They were playing what? Was it a fighting game?
No, it was a card game. It was like
that is funny.
You play the cards, Dragon Ball. They had One Piece lines that was all the way around the corner, and they had Digimon lines. And I'm just thinking,
we don't like that. JS top 50.
Yeah, JS top 50.
Let's
Shout
go.
out JS. Yeah, that's my partner. I don't say partner, but dude, they put bands on words that I don't, and now I be having to say pause and hold up and all this other stuff. But yeah, that's crazy.
I'm still salty about Gamergate. The gamers lost, and they've been subject to women ever since. You see any of these gamers getting stepped on by cosplay women or what?
No. I've seen a couple gamers in there that done talked their girl into gaming, and they was up there playing cards too.
There you go. But hey, the woman is supposed to follow, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I took Zeke up there, hopefully, show him a new game while he's a kid. Maybe he'll get into it. I don't know.
Well, right on. Frederick, call me again, sir.
All right. I'll see you at church Sunday, too.
Hey, right on, man. Hey, pleasure. Take care.
Yeah, take it easy. All right, man. Bye.
Yep. Flying Extreme 760-515-3855. This one's for the Mexicans. Someone sent me something. Hold up. We got super chats. Interesting super chats. Hold up. Could it be? Could it be? The one and only Hake of the Hake Report. Make way. Make way right now. Oops. Someone make way, please. We got a baller coming in. That's the Hake Report. Hake is in the Ballers Lounge. I thank you for that, sir. Correct music for him. He sends us a little something. This is too perfect. Thank you for that, Hake. Appreciate the super chat there. We're gonna leave that for later. Beautiful stuff. Please sit in the Ballers Lounge, sir. Please sit. Okay, fine. I believe we have a little viewer video. How'd it go? How do we do this? Baller alert. Thank you for that.
This election will determine whether we're a free nation or whether we have only the illusion of democracy, but are in fact controlled by a small handful of global special interests rigging the system, and our system is you know it, they know it, I know it, and pretty much the whole world.
And this is to go further beyond. You call this ADD? This ADD? This ADD, Frederick? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah. Saving America. Yeah, totally. 2016 energy, Carver.
This is a crossroads in the
Cross.
history of our civilization.
He's just right about
that.
that.
Will determine whether or not we, the people, reclaim control over.
Do you understand what he's even saying there? You understand what he's saying? That is the crux of everything that's been going on since 2016. It is the center of all the attacks, everything going on. If the people will be sovereign.
Reclaim control over our government.
I mean, he's just absolutely correct there. And he's golden. Beautiful. Please get in the Ballers Lounge. We got Ballers Alert. Ballers Alert. I appreciate that. Who's Your Bear says, what up, Nick? Have you tried Helldivers yet? It would be a fun game to play with viewers on a chill stream. That is a big yes. Who's Your Bear? Can't say I game, but I heard about Helldivers. Someone reached out to me, said they actually made a fun game. It's not woke. It's not crap. It's not BS. I don't really play anything, but I gave Helldivers a try. It's definitely fun. It's probably going to get old in a week, but, you know, I don't really play. But that's something I might do on stream with viewers. Thank you for that. Jabrail NTP with the super chat with the first class ticket there. No message. But that being said, you know what that means. Sit in the Ballers Lounge right away. Right away. Thank you for that. Sitting in the Ballers Lounge. Okay, flying Trump Force 1. How's the flight going? Let's check here. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's going well. 760-515-3855 if you want to call the air phone. It's unmuted. Whew. It's a little hot in here, but I think I'm going to survive. I think I'll be okay. Sean Schemmel actually tore his vocal cords doing that Super Saiyan 3 scream. What's up, JS Urban Adventures? We were just talking about you. Welcome, sir. I don't know if you've already been here, but thank you. Okay. What shall we do now? Have any fun stuff? Stuff I haven't gotten to? I have a ghetto video for you. And I also have the subway shooting. What should we do? You hear about this? Actually, wild story here. Subway shooting. New York City subway rider who shot aggressive gunman with his own weapon on crowded train will not be charged because he acted in self-defense. A lot of people are drawing instant parallels to Daniel Penny. Is it Daniel Penny? The man accused in the New York City subway chokehold. Not just accused, you know, he was indicted. Charged in the death of Jordan Neely. A lot of people are drawing parallels in this story here. This man, Eunice Obuad, was the victim of a hate crime, victim of a racist hate crime, they're saying, when a man entered the subway cart he was in and started yelling obscenities at him. He was saying, F your kind, F your race, F you. Whoa. You think you're going to beat up cops? I'll beat you up, this guy said. Seemingly referencing the January incident in which a group of migrants attacked New York PD officers in Times Square. You know about that story, right? It just seems to be getting wilder and wilder in New York. They got migrants beating up the cops. They're getting off free. It's wild. It truly is wild. Wild West. Where's the rule of law? Nowhere. So this guy, irate, comes into this New York subway cart and just starts going off on this guy. You're kind. You're going to beat up cops, huh? It's like, what the heck? This is not the guy that beat up cops. Calm down. These two apparently get into a fight. This guy who comes in all irate is the owner of a gun which he's concealing. During the fight, the Obuad guy who was getting yelled at wrestles the gun from this guy. and shoots this guy in the head. I mean, it's more of a crazy moment, I guess, a little bit to show if you find this interesting. It's interesting for a number of levels, I guess. The gun thing, but also the way these people reacted. For me, it was the people in the subway reacting. That's really what I wanted to show you. Because there's all sorts of crime and horrible stories going on, right? So I don't really want to be just throwing violence and carnage at you. But there's a couple things going on here. This story seems to be, I don't know. Have you heard of it? I know it is still pretty fresh, but it's one of those stories that doesn't fit the narrative, as they say. Because the person with the gun who got shot and is dead, and might die, sorry, he may not survive, is a black man. Okay? So, where were we? But the situation itself is crazy because it could have been avoided. Here's what let's get into it here. Let's get into it a little bit. 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎, 32, was arrested Thursday night after a terrifying encounter with 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍� Robinson, 36, when the two men erupted into a wild brawl on a rush hour subway that ultimately led to Robinson being shot in the head. So I think this is one of those, this is that moment on the subway train where this guy just comes in, he's all mad, ready to pick out the first, I don't know, migrant looking ass person to take it out on them. You know, I hear the, you know, anybody catch The Fallen State? That was a black woman talking to Jesse. She was like a total liberal, no? But the blacks are not, they're not happy with this illegal immigration stuff in general. I'll beat you up. You want to beat up cops, he says? He think you a migrant, says another woman. Yeah, because he could be born and raised New York. You don't know. They've had immigration since quite a while now, right? 90s, 60s. What, the Hart-Celler Act and all that? So already, irate man, dangerous situation. He's coming right up to this person. What do you do as the guy, right? He's apparently with some woman. And he gets up in his face and he's ready to fight him too. I don't know if that's the most advisable thing, right? He gets up and he's ready to fight him too. So it's like mutual combat at this point. He's like, let's go. You not gonna do anything.
Move, baby girl.
There's babies on here.
I'm waiting for you, says this migrant, so-called migrant. That sounds like a New Yorker. I don't know if that's a migrant. I don't know if that's an immigrant. He's like, I'm waiting for you. Hey, cuz, I mean, I'm waiting for you. What's up with you? This guy was just ready to fight someone. You want to hit me though, right? You want to hit me though, right? Yeah, I don't know if that's a migrant. That's a New Yorker. So they're striking each other now. It's getting worse. Some good hits, That's a good... Clean strikes, clean hits. Nice, clean hits. So this is the part that gets crazy. This woman walks by him. I mean, this is kind of ridiculous, really. There's no real true insight here. But so I have a somewhat take after this. But bear with me. This is at least entertaining. This part that gets crazy. So this woman Look. Look, look, look. She looks like she's stabbing him. You see that? That's the woman that was with the so-called migrant. She does these stabbing motions. I think she straight up stabs him. I mean, the guy says right after, hey, I think you stabbed me. He's like, whoa. He's like, whoa, look, look, you kind of even see a little red. I think that's blood. You stabbed me? I'm not. Look, look, that's blood. She stabbed him. Mind you, the cart is still moving. The cart is still. So how do you get out? I'm bleeding. I got you. Now he's threatening him. If you're gonna stab someone, lady, you might want to finish the job. You know, I'm not saying fighting is good. I'm not saying anything like that. I would rather see no violence. But she may have put the man that I don't know if that's her man, but her man put himself in this situation, and she may have escalated it to a whole nother level. He is now leaking AIDS. So he's reaching in his jacket now. He's pulling. He's gonna pull out something. You can imagine what it is. It is a gun. He pulls out. I ain't do nothing. Yeah, I don't know about migrants. Now he's got a gun. It's crazy. Camera person, camera woman, I think, cameraman, female cameraman. Is like, I'm out. You should have done that from the get-go. You should have left from the get-go. I don't know why you want to even take out your camera and just film something like this. You know what I mean? It's time to leave. It's time to go. You're watching something unfold. It's going to get bad.
Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out!
Shot fired. Get down, get down. Another shot goes. Did you hear that person say, get down, get down? I'm trying not to show you just carnage, okay? Because there is, some insight here. The insight is the emotion, obviously. But this is not anyone defending themselves. Look, and New York City subway rider who shot aggressive gunman is because he acted in self-defense. There was no self-defense here, okay? That guy had someone in his face yelling at him, and he got mad. And he's like, what, you're not going to talk to me like that. I'm going to get up and get in your face. Let's fight. So that's what that was. This two devils fighting. And this filming syndrome? No, time to go. Run. Where's the self-defense? This was combat, and this was two devils fighting. You know what that is. You've heard it before, two devils fighting. This is just an example. I just want to give you an example. And the people who see this and think, that's why you got to get rid of guns, are crazy people. That's an incident in that area, okay? Cities already have the right to impose certain codes and all that. You know, it's like an old thing. There were gun-free towns in like the Wild West in early America. You can look that up. There were gun-free towns. So it's not about that. It's about civility. Even that example of the Wild West, think about that. It's like guns won the West. Guns and freedom. But then civility had to kind of control the Wild West. So you can have civilization. It's about civility. Okay. Wild situation here. I also wanted to point out something else here. I wanted to point out freaking panicking sheep syndrome. And it's amazing how this guy got out of this alive. Apparently, I guess he wrestles the gun away and he kills this guy. The man who was stabbed. They're all in combat. I don't know. At this point, I guess you got to get out alive. And that woman turned it into a kind of escalated into a deadly thing because it's unclear if the gun would have ever been brought out. He shouldn't. This guy starting a fight on a subway while having a gun is insane. But this guy got on his face and he's like, "Let's fight. Fine, let's do it." It's hard to say. It's hard to say, but this is why emotions. All of this was, in my opinion, it turned into not defense. This is insanity. And that woman went and stabbed. Look, please, no, don't carry a knife, woman, if you're not gonna be willing to really use it. Wait, who kills who? I'm confused. The so-called migrant, which I don't think was a migrant, the one who was getting yelled at, was the one who killed the black guy. Everything is fake. So what happens is the black guy had a gun, but and they started fighting, the migrant, quote unquote, wrestled the gun away from the black guy, and ends up shooting the black guy in the head. It's just a couple interesting, there's numerous interesting things going on here. I mean, the guy was mad over this so-called migrant stuff. He came into this subway looking at that guy saying, F you, F your race, F your race, and F you, and you think you're going to beat up cops, huh? You migrants. Think about how many people have even called my show wanting to convince people of facts like this. Oh, these migrants. If you have anger, no facts will change you being a crazy person who's liable to do something as crazy as walk into a subway and act all crazy like this black guy. Even if you have the right facts and you sound like a Republican conservative. Yeah, they're taking the jobs. These migrants are taking our jobs. No, that's not the answer. Facts are not the answer. Anything that's not pointing you back to yourself is not the answer. I was saying that the other day. And we can talk about it, conspiracies and everything. But anything that doesn't point you back to yourself is a lie. And that person does not want to actually fix the problem. Because this is a civility thing. This is anger. This is, you know what I mean? And they'll call it racism, right? It's funny. He'll be like, it's Trump. It's Republicans. It's this atmosphere of racism that caused this man to go up to this person. It was racism. They'll excuse it and blame something else. Especially because he's black, right? Well, no, it's this culture that made him hate migrants the way he did. So yeah, facts don't matter. Emotions is crazy. Emotions is crazy, dog. And it'll get you killed. And what else? And one last thing about this. Freaking lemming bystander sheep syndrome. Here's another angle of this moment. And I hear your calls coming in. Hold on, I'll get to you. Here's another angle of this moment. When I believe this is the part when someone was yelling duck. You heard that part? Okay. So the shot already rang out. People yelling duck. Here's another angle. There, mind you, they're at the other end of this cart, fighting. Or they were. You see, if you notice from the reactions, just ahead of them is where this altercation is going on.
Where's the NYPD? Oh my God! Close the door! Close the door!
How is this? Close the door and they're yell. Can someone explain? Maybe I'm an ignorant person. Help me out if I'm an ignorant person. But how is this acceptable survival behavior? In what world is this acceptable survival behavior?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Ducking isn't going to help you. Where is the cover? There's nothing. Bullets go through stuff. Get to cover. So you're okay. Well, I guess I understand it a little bit here. Your cover is these other bodies. Okay, maybe I understand a little bit. Meat shields. Why don't they get off? What the? I agree. You leave the threat as quick as possible. You abscond as quickly as you can. You leave the threat. You leave the area. Bullets go through stuff. Duck. Get on the ground. I mean, maybe, but then you go. You know, I mean, obviously I wasn't there. I'm just saying. Am I wrong in thinking this? What do you guys think? I feel like they're just copying each other. Nilda, I agree with you. Where's the man? Maybe they were instructed to do that. Yeah, by another lemming who said, get on the ground. Yeah, maybe they were instructed. But here's the thing about being instructed to get down. This is my theory on that. If you're like law enforcement, there's a crowd of people running and there's gunfire. You tell them to get down because it makes it easier for you to move, and it makes it better for the people that are important to move. Yeah, those people on the ground, yeah, they might get shot still, but at least they're not a giant panicking crowd. So I'm wary of mass instruction. You know what I'm saying? I'd say maybe just get away from the crowd. In reality, we don't know, but these are just anchor baby theories, armchair anchor baby theories. But look, I'm just saying, maybe this will help someone. If you're in a crowded place and something goes down, get away. This mass instruction, I don't know if it's really for your safety. Imagine all those people running. You can't get anything done. Get on the ground. That's just me. I have a caller. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Nick? It's Jake Hudson. How you doing today?
Right on, Jake. How you doing, sir? This is your first time calling my show, no?
Yes, this is the first time. This is the first time I've called your show. I've called in the Hake show before.
What's up, Jake? A pleasure. I was on your stream the other night when you had James Hake, the Hake Report, on your show.
Hey, and I hope it's not my fault that he didn't tell anyone he was going to be on my show.
No, I don't think that was your fault at all. I really don't know about that at all.
And I just want to say thank you for taking my call.
No problem, man.
I was a little nervous because I'm used to the JLP network stuff where he has a call greeter.
Yes.
But since I now know it now, I like Google Voice is better.
You think so? Why do you say that?
Because Google Voice, now when I do Google Voice, it tells me who's calling in.
Oh, nice. Well, with a call screener, you kind of get the same luxury, right? But the problem is I don't have a call screener. I'm running it solo right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't have a call screener.
And I would love to have you on my podcast, but I don't know your schedule.
Hey, email me, man. Email me, radio@JesseLeePeterson.com.
I thought I had you on Twitter too. That's how I got.
You might. If you have me on Twitter, hit me up there as well. That's no problem at all.
But I want to ask this question. What do you think about these big businesses are trying to take over the mom and pop shop or destroying the mom and pop shops?
Isn't that it feels like, as long as I've been around, that's been the direction of everything. Consolidation and all that. And can't say I've paid too much attention, but lately, when you're saying get rid of the mom and pop shops, I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to, but in general, I think you're right.
I mean the small shop, the local,
like the government?
No. When I say mom and pop shops, I mean the local shops, the small town. Everybody knows your name. They're getting shut down by the big business, by Walmart, Amazon. They're coming in and shut.
Is it going down because? Why do you think that's happening? Is it like they're being just pushed out, priced out?
Yeah.
And so people are just going to the cheaper stuff, and they're not.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a combination of economics and government, but also our own fault for supporting.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Hey, you know what the thing is what I think is like, by the way, I must just say this is I haven't voted in any election. I haven't. But I'm an independent. And I try to stay I have friends that are Trump supporters.
Okay.
I have friends and there's a lot of people think that I'm a liberal. I'm not. I'm trying to be neutral to people.
Okay, so you wouldn't call yourself a Trump supporter.
I usually on my show say I don't know if you're a Biden supporter. I don't know if you like Trump, or I don't know your stance
Biden.
on that.
Trump. I'm Trump for sure.
Yeah.
But I like Biden too.
So
as a person.
What do you think about Chris Hansen?
Who's Chris Hansen?
The catch a predator guy. He's the guy that goes and catches those.
What's making you bring him up? I haven't heard of that name in a while. Is he still doing stuff?
He's still doing stuff. He's actually trying to work with a sheriff out there for the ghost thing. Ghost train. He's basically trying to catch these sex offenders. He's been doing stuff in Alabama. He was in Alabama the other week.
No, I can't say I follow Chris Hansen at all like that. I didn't know he was still catching predators out here. Dang, so we still got him out here doing the hard work of catching all these predators, I guess, huh?
Yeah. You know what the thing is,
Jake? I've thought about this before. I was thinking about this the other day because I was watching this video where they go up to where these guys pose as like a little kid online, and then they set up a meetup with one of these people online, and then they catch them and they film them. They're like, "We're gonna call the cops." You seen that stuff?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've actually. That's what. You ever heard of 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒎? He got. There was a video of him getting caught trying to.
I don't want to. I don't really know who that is, and I don't want to like just throw around
basically
allegations.
Allegedly, he was going to get a cupcake.
I'm following man.
From a minor.
You know what I was thinking the other day about these kinds of videos, though. I was thinking there's something missing. There's something missing about the videos. In that, I'm not excusing pedophilia or whatever, but there's something missing. It feels like. There's something about these people who go and try and catch these predators that feel like they're missing something. Like they don't quite understand what they're dealing with, and they think that catching them like this is gonna. Like, what do you think they're trying to achieve?
I think they're trying to get humiliate the person. They're trying to humiliate them.
Because I find it a little strange that because look. They pose as a little because these people they pose as a child online, right? And they probably get into these conversations with these people, but you got to understand that they're posing as a child, so they're not really a kid, and so they're probably having strange conversations with these people, egging them on in a way that a child never would have. So I wonder if these so-called predators, if they never met this person online, if they ever would have actually. You know what I'm trying to say here? If they actually would have, there seems to be a misunderstanding. I don't know. I'm not again.
Yeah. Hey, Nick.
I'm not
Nick,
expressing myself.
By the way, Tuesday you were having audio issues, and then Wednesday all the shows got canceled.
Yeah, big time. You heard the audio issues? It was a mess. I
heard I was there in the beginning of your stream on Tuesday when it first happened.
Yeah, man, it sucks.
And I was like,
Jesse,
I was in the chat.
Jesse had a professional team, you know. I mean, we turned on the stuff like we do, and it's just looping audio like crazy. It's just looping audio.
Did they find out who went into the bathroom?
We can't figure it out for the life of us until hours later we figure out what it was. But by then, it's too late to do any shows. So sorry about that.
Did they find out who? Because on Hate Report today, there was Jesse was getting on to Joel for going to the bathroom or something.
Oh wait, what happened with Joel?
Jesse comes in and asks who went into the bathroom with wet paint or something.
You're talking about when Joel was guest hosting the Hate Report today, right?
Yeah.
You're right. So we just recently resealed the floors here in the bathroom. And it was still wet. And so Jesse came in to find out who the culprit was. It just so happens that it was also during the Hate Report while he was live. But Jesse did not. Yeah. That didn't stop Jesse.
Listen, you know.
It wasn't me. Reese's Vids in the chat is saying it was me because he heard that a Colombian did it. And I don't know if chat knows there's 2 Colombians at Bond. So, and I'm not even making that up. I really didn't do it. You guys are slandering me.
You want to hear something really cool today? I got I do a thing called Stack Up. I do a charity thing called Stack Up. And
okay.
It's to raise. It's a charity. What we do, I'm saying we because I'm part of it. I think I'm part of it. They what they do is they get gaming consoles and they fly veterans out to gaming cons like TwitchCon, E3.
Oh,
no
these
more
are
E3.
Veterans who, I guess they're just fans of gaming. They're
yeah, and I actually got a shirt today and a keychain today because I raised over $250 last year in 2023 for Stack Up, and I raised $2,000 on Extra Life.
Well, right on, Jake. Right on, man.
Sorry if I'm talking too
What's the
much.
charity for again?
It's a Stack Up is about it's a gaming. It's about
that's right,
a
gaming.
veterans charity, and they try to get people to play games, the veterans, to get into gaming. And also, I do a thing called Extra Life where I'm raising money for Children of Mississippi Hospital out in Jackson.
Well, right on, Jake.
So, and I'm sorry that I called in your show at a bad time.
No,
I wanted to talk to you.
What makes you say it's a bad time? Not a bad time. I mean, we were actually, if anyone who was paying attention, we were falling out of the sky there for a second because we're flying a plane. So if you say that as a bad time, I mean, sure, but people have called it. People have called it worse times, so don't worry.
Is that a Trump plane?
That's Trump Force One.
Yeah. I want to ask this question. Did you see that Alex Stein had a Laura Trump?
No, I
think
didn't.
was her name. And Donald Trump called in.
Oh, nice. For real?
Yeah. I just want to say that it's so awesome to get to talk to you guys, and it was so awesome to have Hake on the show. By the way, Hake has actually been, I've never had anyone promote like Hake did. Every episode he talked about it.
Yeah, very cool, man. Yeah, I saw it too, and I jumped in there on your conversation with James a little bit there. Jake, it's a pleasure, man. Email me or call me again.
All right, thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Sure, sir. Take care. We got another
Call
caller.
from.
Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Mike from Chicago.
What's up, Mike? How you doing, sir? We're on our way to Chicago.
I'm all right, man. How are you? What's up?
We're on our way to Chicago.
No shit. I mean, no, yeah.
yeah. We're landing at. I don't know if you're watching the stream, but we're gonna be landing in O'Hare International.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I just popped in, so I don't know. Wait, I'm not on the stream, am I?
Yeah. You're. I mean, you're on the air.
Oh, no way. Do you hear me fine?
Yes, hearing you fine, sir.
Awesome, man. Yeah, no, I just wanted to call. I just wanted to ask you, like, what do you think about like Nicholas Fuentes? Like, what are your thoughts on him?
Nick Fuentes is a smart young man. I met him in Florida with Jesse. We went to AFPAC 3.
Oh, you met him?
Yeah, we went to AFPAC 3. Jesse spoke at AFPAC 3. Jesse streams on Cozy. But I met him. I met him over there. We had this dinner. Where it was just the guests and some donors. And I have to say, when I was in that room, hearing him speak to all these people and these donors, and I think it was a senator in there, I was like, there are future presidents in this room. There, at least with Nick. So I respect him a lot. I respect him for sure. I don't watch his show too much. I see a lot of his comments though on his Telegram, and I see a lot of clips and stuff, but yeah, I don't believe the things they say about him personally, that he's as hateful and all this as they say. All people with anger are hateful, but that's a different topic. And I don't know what else to say. I respect him.
Yeah, I think generally speaking, like what he's trying to say. Well, first of all, obviously they're gonna like change his message up. He's like, if you just take any time to listen to him, he's like not a hateful guy. But obviously, what the media does with that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what he's doing, I think a big thing about what he's doing right is I feel like he's shifting kind of like the window of what's acceptable to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the,
in what way?
With everything.
I think in a lot of ways, yeah.
You know what I mean, though?
You're allowed to say that whites are being replaced now. Yeah, you'll get a lot of crap maybe, but you know what I'm saying? That used to be off the deep end, wacko town. Like this person, don't even listen to him. That's like in the mainstream conversation now. And I think in large part because of Nick Fuentes and people like him.
Yeah, and yeah, no, exactly. And you know what? I did have a question though.
Sure.
He likes to focus in on Jewish people particularly. Do you think? And I know like you and Jesse and all you guys talk about like black people like blaming, you know, whites and everything and all of that.
Totally.
You find that sometimes his messaging with Jewish people is kind of similar to like, oh, let's blame, you know, let's blame them for everything, or you know, you kind of get what I'm getting at here.
Do I see Fuentes blaming Jews the way the blacks blame others and stuff like that? Personally,
yeah.
I haven't seen too much of his content, but personally, I don't think so. I heard him once say something like, the Jews killed God. They killed God, and I don't know exactly what he means by that, and I don't want to judge, but I noticed that people who think that they kind of assign more responsibility. Anyways, I'm kind of nitpicking, but to answer your question clearly, I personally don't see him doing this blame game because he's quite clear in what he's saying. And the things I've seen, at least, he explains his reasoning in I don't know, in a very clear, mature way. You may disagree, but he explains how he gets there. Okay, and I talk about. I like to talk about the people who are blaming and in their heads, because it's clear these people, they're not saying anything real. It's always in emotion and in insanity. When I get to see a young guy like Nick Fuentes, at least I can engage with what he's saying, and at least I can look it up, and if I'm interested, and engage and disagree or agree. You see what I'm saying? So when someone's coming at me with real stuff, or at least stuff that I can conversate on, I'm not gonna go around saying blamer or blah blah blah, because then I'm not even engaging with what he's saying, and that's the same disrespect that all sorts of conservatives have been getting. So I don't know why a conservative would show that. I don't know if it's disrespect, but show that kind of lack of love to Fuentes, even if they disagree, right? They should, but a lot of conservatives do. They treat him the way, you know what I'm saying? The way the left treats them.
Yeah. Well, it's just a knee-jerk reaction, you know, because they need their money. Totally. You know what I mean? Like, they need their advertising. They need that.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, there's people who are they just don't agree and maybe just don't see what he's saying. But they don't. But to go into emotion, right? That's when it gets strange, and we can't be doing that to our own brothers, to our own. He says he's a Catholic and all that, and I appreciate that.
Call from.
Hey, you still there?
Yeah,
my bad. I put you on hold for a second. That was an accident. But go ahead. You were saying.
You're good. No, I was just saying that's like all that anger and emotion is just like I said, it's fake, or maybe it's genuine. I'm not too sure, but you know, it's all to protect their money. You know, you mention that guy anywhere, you get the call. You know, you get people saying, hey, you can't bring that up, or you can't, you know. Then they have, you know, and I can't judge them too harshly. I mean, it's the wrong thing to do for sure, but you know, they have mouths to feed, whatever. But
here's the thing. I wouldn't go around even criticizing. Like, for me, it's the people who kind of go out of their way to be like, ew, or who's this guy? Or like, they just play this. I'm trying not to be too judgmental in my language, but I think you're understanding me, where they're totally, it's just total theatrics to distance yourself from someone like that. And they will even agree with censorship and crazy things that they would never agree with before, just because this person is, I don't know, way too out there. So there's definitely something to say about that. But I wouldn't go around even criticizing, and that's for the people who go out of the way and are just go out of the way to go prostrate. But for the others, I wouldn't be too hard on them, because think about this. Like when I think about my show, when I think about Joel's show or something like that, or James or Jesse's show, I appreciate their shows. I appreciate the Bond Network, because we're not really concerned with that. If you want to talk about the Jews and all that, like I said, I really do appreciate Nick, but I personally think I already know what the truth is. So the truth is the anger, that you must forgive, that you must be born again. I personally already think, I'm not saying I've arrived there, but you see what I'm saying here? So I don't need someone to tell me the truth. I might hear something interesting about the Jews that Fuentes says, and I'll be like, that makes me think about something. But you see what I'm saying here? I don't think anyone that's, and to just finish the insane ramble here, thank you for being patient. Anyone that's not pointing you towards that, whether it's Fuentes or otherwise, that's not pointing you towards back to yourself, that you must forgive, that you must be born again, they don't know the truth either. So that's my long-winded take. I hope you made sense.
Yeah, I get it. Like you said, if there's anything interesting, he says, and he says a lot of valid, true things. I mean, you just said so. Yeah, but I get what you mean. Maybe don't follow one person too deep down, like into wherever they're going. Figure it out for yourself. Look things up a bit. Think for yourself.
Yeah.
Find the truth, et cetera, et cetera.
I've never heard Fuentes say something like this, and I would be surprised if he'd say anything like this. But I've heard people say stuff like, it's the Jews' fault that there's so much porn and so much white men watch porn and they don't have babies. See what I'm saying? That's insane. And I would be surprised if I heard Nick Fuentes say something like that. He might.
Yeah, that's.
What do you think?
Or, sorry, go ahead.
I'm cutting you off. My bad. What do you think?
I agree, because that is a fact. Like, that is a fact that those types of people, like, are, I don't know if it's majority, but they're very prominent in that business. But at the same time, there still is a responsibility of the person
100%.
to not engage in that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
1,000,000%.
Yeah, so it's like a half and half thing. What's up?
I said I don't even know about the first part, and I don't doubt that it's true. I think it's insignificant
but
compared
it's like
to the second part.
Yeah, but then at the same time, I guess I would ask you, wouldn't you say, wouldn't there be some responsibility to, like, obviously, like, outlaw something like pornography, like, or what?
Maybe.
What do you think about that?
My answer to that is maybe, because there's something way more powerful than any policy, okay? And it's, imagine if you just had men who wanted what's right. If you just had, and it doesn't even have to be majority, but if you just had men that you wanted what's right, you would not see even half of the crap that you're seeing, the over-sexualization, the insanity, okay? The other reason I say maybe is because I don't want to take that off the table. I'd be ignorant to do so. I think a Christian country might do that, and might do that effectively, so I'll leave that open. So that's why I say maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, just 'cause...
That being said, you said it's true that I forgot what you said, but I cut you off. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying. My bad.
No, I mean, that was essentially it. Just because I've heard, like, previously on your show, like, I think, I don't know, you mentioned the story about someone's, like, sister getting mugged or something. Something like that. Like, I want to say, like, a week ago on the show, and you were, I don't know, just something about someone being robbed. Like, someone's sister was being robbed in front of them. And then, like, people were kind of frying you a little in chat, like, oh, like, Nick would just hand over his belongings, or, like, something like that. And then they made, I don't know, maybe someone in chat would, like, remember, but it made me,
I do
like,
kind of remember someone saying that. I cut you off. It reminded you of what? It
just reminded me, like, really quickly, it just reminded me, or it just makes me think, like, sometimes I, like, watch, like, JLP passively and you sometimes, too.
Thank you.
Like, sometimes it's, like, with the question that I ask about, like, oh, wouldn't you want to outlaw it? Sometimes it seems like, I don't want to say it's passive.
Hit it.
But it seems like you guys take, like, a very passive approach to, like, things in a sense. You know what I mean?
I think
like
I remember
very,
somewhat the conversation now. And I don't quite remember the subject matter, but I do remember someone giving me similar criticism and similar flack for being passive and all that. And I personally think that person, and you as well, I think, are maybe misunderstanding what we mean. Because if I remember, this caller was saying, well, you're always saying don't get angry, and you shouldn't have anger. Well, it sounds like you're this passive person and nothing's going to mark. Correct. Well, how are you going to get anything done? But I think the big part that people are missing is this what you think is active, what you think is doing something, is not doing anything, is in fact worse. It's a detrimental and doing the opposite. So my way, in my opinion, is actually going to get what you're saying, and more effectively. The reason being, well, depends on what we're talking about, I guess. But for example, anger. For example, you're talking about. What was I talking about with Mark, for example?
I don't know. It was like a story.
Okay,
Mark was like,
okay, well then let's talk about this example. Pornography. With pornography, you're saying, oh, you're taking a passive stance. Well, there's been stuff banned before. I don't know if you know about prohibition and all that. If you know anything about human nature, policies and although may have their place and effectiveness, for things of the spirit like this, have no effect. They don't do anything, and in fact, do the opposite effect. There's no way around this. We need what I'm calling for is actually the most. You say it's passive, but I say it's, although passive is the most, I'd say maybe even let's call it most difficult thing, or it's just hard to get to this because of how stuck we are. But I'm calling for the return of real men. No, nothing halfway. No legislation. Let's vote on it. No, I'm talking about something even tougher than that. I'm talking about return of real men. If you had real men, I'm not even worried about the legislation. You see what I'm saying here? So what I'm talking about is tougher. Actually.
Yeah, but you could do both though, right? Or no?
Maybe. That's why I leave it as a maybe. I'm focused on the men part.
Maybe.
And maybe those men will come up with a law, but I'm not worried about that part just yet. You see what I'm saying? Am I making sense? So it's actually
for
not,
sure. I
it's
see what
actually
you're saying.
not this weak thing. But think about this too, man. How did this get like this? You got to understand. I know you don't think this, or it sounds like you don't think this, but I'll repeat it. The Jews didn't make all our peers watch all this porn, man, and do all this other stuff. You see what I'm saying here? Legislation won't fix that, okay? You got to understand, should we legislate that tomorrow, it's our own neighbors, our own brothers and sisters who will be in the streets protesting us. So I'm trying to get to the the deeper part here. I'm rambling now, sir. Sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I get what you mean. I mean, no. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I guess it just seemed like because I'd never heard you like expound on your point of view with this, but just from like my first perspective of it, it seemed like you were like, it just seems so individualistic, and which is obviously work on yourself, be better. But then I'm like, can't you do that while changing the community for the better? You get.
What do you want for people? When you think about your brothers, when you think about your Christian brothers, or just your fellow countrymen, what do you want for them? When you think about porn, you think, wow, I don't want this here. I want to ban it. What is your reasoning? I imagine is, go on, I'll let you speak.
I mean, obviously in an ideal world, whatever, I would want them to act as, whatever. I know you guys don't like saying good, but you get what I mean.
Totally, I'm following you.
As good as possible. Because that wills you to God.
And so in a sense, can I put words in your mouth? Apologies, but in a sense it's because, you want to love them. You're showing them love in a sense, sort of love. Look, I guess
in a sense,
what I'm trying to get at here is that you're saying, okay, well, can't we just do that anyways and ban porn? Well, think about it. If you want to show love, which I don't want to put words in your mouth, but if you wanted to show love, what is loving about that? Yeah, you may you might be banning a crime, but let's say you wanted people to overcome. If you wanted people to overcome. Like, do you see what I'm getting at here?
Overcome porn?
Like truly, if let's say you're a Christian and you want people to be saved.
Sure. What about?
Would banning?
Am I just stupid or something? Am I not?
No, sorry, I'm not speaking. I'm not expressing myself. But banning porn, would that get you closer to helping people overcome and be saved?
Well, here's possibly. I mean, think about it. Like, obviously, this is kind of a different topic, but murder. Like, okay, what? Okay, so from your point of view, this is probably putting words in your mouth. So I apologize. Should there be a should that be like a crime?
No, it doesn't.
Murder, like. Okay, but porn is porn is immoral. Should it?
It doesn't happen because murder is not banned. Even with it being a crime, it still happens, right? And so I'm not
sure, but the crime part would deter it, wouldn't it?
Correct, and so would banning porn. It would deter it. But we're talking, I guess.
Yeah.
That's why my question was a little bit different. Specifically, it was about, I guess, love, right? And so I'm just I'm just trying to sort of make a point here about how, even with the murder example, think about this. Let's say you wanted to help those people. even though helping is a strange thing. You ban it and make it illegal because, well, you gotta order society, but you know that deep down that's not gonna fix them. They need to they need to overcome. They need to get out of the anger and because that's what caused them to do it in the first place. Same thing with porn.
Yeah.
It's your own neighbors who are going to be protesting your little porn ban. So if you truly cared about saving someone, then your focus would be elsewhere. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well,
So
I
it's
guess
not a
I just don't
defensive
see
porn,
why
which
like
is what-
you
it's not a
couldn't do
defensive porn.
both.
So you see that it's not a defensive porn?
No, I mean, yeah, someone in chat said Nick defending porn ?
Right, but that's
But
that's what people think.
I
of this
agree. You're
conversation.
not. No. Yeah, I know where you're coming from. I'm not.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe I am an idiot. Who knows? But
No,
I
I'm not
don't think I'm an idiot. I get where you're coming from. One and two. I guess my final like thing with that is like, for me, I'm just like I just shrug my shoulders. I'm like, well, okay, why not just do both?
Why not just do both? Well, that's why I left that as a maybe. Right, my focus is
That's why you maybe. But I get what you're trying to push.
Because
with
imagine,
there. Like, I get the
you can
point
have
that you're
evil.
trying to
You can have a Republican Christian guy. You know how many of those people are evil too, and they'll be like, "We're banning porn," and it does no good. It does no good. So that's why I leave it as a maybe.
Yeah,
my focus is on on. Imagine if you had decent men. Imagine that. That would be life changing.
Yeah. Well, that's I think that was my point too.
531 has a
It's
super
like,
chat here. Would you like to respond to this? How far does it go? Ban Victoria's Secret catalogs?
Yeah. Why didn't you be looking at that?
Let's go, militant Christian. Let's go. You will be moral and you will be decent. That's hilarious.
Exactly. Like, what's the point of that? Like, come on, have some respect.
Do you see some wisdom in that question though? On asking how far?
Yeah, how far, but that's also just
that's like with censorship right now with TikTok.
Yeah, well, that ban is idiotic. That ban, that's just because they can't control the narrative on TikTok, so they want to ban it.
Fascinating,
so that's just,
sir. Sir, is there anything else you want to talk about before we move the wheels here?
Nothing. Just shout out to my brother Leo.
Hey,
watch his JLP.
You found it through Liam?
Yeah. Kinda. Yeah, he listens to it pretty much
Fuentes?
almost like. Yeah, mix of both. I guess I don't really watch like one person indefinitely, but yeah, I guess you could
We
say
love
that.
the Groypers. We love the Groypers, and all that. Appreciate your call, sir. And
right.
call me again.
Yeah, man. Thanks for taking my call, man. I can't even talk, bro. Have a good one.
Take care. We're landing soon, folks. If you saw me distracted, it's because I needed to get the plane in order. Kick back and relax while we get this plane on the ground. Callers, call back. I had it muted. And getting ready for the landing here. Getting ready for our arrival, our approach. So appreciate the patience. It's unmuted if you want to call in. Runways in the distance.
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press.
This is 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎 from Texas. CJ. What's up, man? Hey, I wanted to talk. I just wanted to have a talk with you about predator catching. All right. So I'm one of the so Predator Poachers is one of the largest catchers on the internet. He started off a little bit goofy, a little bit immature, but he started catching when he was 19 years old. And he's like 23 now, and he has arrests in 50 states and hundreds of arrests and prosecutions. And so I was just listening to you guys. Both sounded like you guys were trying to figure out what was happening, making a lot of assumptions without having a real deep history into how this goes down. And so I'm one of their largest donors here. I live in San Antonio. Whenever they have a catch that's in San Antonio or they're passing through San Antonio, I pay for their vehicles, car rentals, hotels, food, everything. Mm-hmm. And we just dropped 131 years on a baby raping porn trader and seller. The record sentence in the state of Texas under CP trading. And
wow,
I'd just like to answer any questions that you have about it. And
about
maybe
predator catching?
Yeah, or maybe I can even tell you a little bit about some of the misconceptions that I've already seen you kind of going into.
Do you notice any of these? I don't know who you know or work with, but have you seen some of these other maybe channels or anything? That's because this content kind of goes viral. Have you ever noticed like a strange spirit in some of these, where they almost get this like this strange thrill out of going after these predators, and they get like a sick thrill out of it, and it's just as gross, but harder to miss because the predator stuff is in your face.
Not really. The ones that I follow are like very professional, and that's kind of what I want to talk to you about. Is that there might be exceptions to the rule, right? But exceptions to the rule don't disprove the rule, right? And channels that are almost nothing, they do not take away from the channels that are doing it correctly or the people that are doing it correctly.
Totally.
They don't.
Well, right on. I mean, I don't discount that.
So let me tell you how.
I may not know a lot about what you're talking about, but it sounds like you're talking about particular ones. I just was pointing out like a strange thing I noticed in the whole thing, which is just easy to miss, which is why I focused on it, because it's obvious. All the other stuff is obvious in your face, and it's obviously wrong, and you don't need me to tell you that. These predators are obviously messed up. They obviously got people even doing this child porn stuff. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that's all horrible. So I was pointing out the harder to miss evil in the predator catchers themselves.
Yeah, I would just like to explain to you a little bit about how the process happens.
Sure.
First of all, the catchers, very rarely, the major catchers do not communicate with them all the time. They have decoys that are leading these guys on for years and years and years. And then when the catch is ready to be made, then the 350-pound, ex-football, player, ex-college football player lineman comes, and he's very cordial, right? There's no threatening or anything.
Right. Sir, the law enforcement is on the way.
So first of all, the decoys never make contact with the predator first, ever.
All they do is make a profile and wait to be messaged. The first thing they do is they tell the predator that they're underage, and they never advance the conversation sexually at all. All they say is, hi, hello. They say, hey, have you, and they're like, I don't know anything about that. I've never done that. You know what you're talking about. I've never had the S word before.
So it's the predators who push that along.
Huh?
It's the predators or so whatever that push that along.
Always, 100%. We don't have, our evidence is 100% tight when it gets to the DA. Where there is no, not only was there not that, when the catcher starts interviewing them on camera, there's no quid pro quo ever. There's never that we say, hey, if you talk to us, we won't tell the police. That never ever happens. There's never a this or that. We never offer anything. That's never done on any of the professional catchers. And so then I also wanted, so I don't know, before I move on, like, does that kind of clear up, like we're not making these guys do anything they normally wouldn't do. All we're doing is giving them a child that's not an actual child for them to show what their intentions would be if they were with a child.
Would you? That's fair, and I understand that totally. I mean, you're talking about the people that you know or you're working with, but is this like a standardized? Is this a standardized industry or something?
By far, like these guys get a catch every 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
The next biggest channels are like 100th of their size.
No, but to answer your question, yeah, totally clears things up. I had no clue, and even thought a little bit that some of these guys may even be getting egged on and all that. So I appreciate that. It definitely clears things up. Do you think at all, what do you think about the wisdom? Do you see any wisdom at all in you become what you hate?
Like if you actually watch these interviews, so the way they actually interview this person, there's no judgment. We actually just make best friends with the guys. When the police come, we're all like, after an hour, the catcher is already like, oh, dude, I don't know who called the police. Hold on, dude, I got your back, man. Don't worry. The guy's like, okay, hey, man, thanks. The interview has had so little amount of hate and just, because we're not trying to.
I wasn't saying they had hate. I don't know why you're bringing that up. I wasn't saying they had hate.
Your last caller said, oh, I think the goal is to maybe humiliate them, right?
Oh, I think I remember that.
We're not humiliating them. We're just making them feel as comfortable as possible to just get it all out. We show up for them trying to meet a 13-year-old, right?
Right.
And then as we're decoying the 13-year-old, the 13-year-old just says, oh, hey, I have a 9-year-old sister. And then the guy's like, oh, bring her along too. Then we get down to, then we find mothers. We've caught mothers that were trying to sell their kids, right?
So do you see any wisdom in that, though, what I was asking earlier? Do you see any wisdom in you become what you hate?
I don't think you've made it a relevant point to this conversation yet, because I don't know where there's any hate here.
No, but I think, it sounds like you're assuming what I'm even thinking or saying. I wasn't saying anybody had hate. I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you if you see any wisdom in you become what you hate. Because it sounds like you might be thinking that you might be assuming that I'm thinking that the people you're talking about has hate and I'm trying to make some point and I'm going to get you. But I think you're in your head. I'm not thinking that at all. I think you've explained what you said quite clearly. And you even said that those people, in your opinion, they don't have hate and they're doing it without hate. Hey, I heard you. No problem there at all.
I've definitely heard that a lot with Jesse Lee Peterson saying you have to forgive your mother and not hate her so that you won't become your mother.
Yeah.
Been listening to Jesse say that for
Yeah. Do you see any wisdom in that? And that how you become what you hate, no matter, even if it's your mother, if you hate the gays, if you hate this or that, you become what you hate?
Yeah, but I think if you have a visceral reaction towards children being hurt, like I think a healthy human being sees a child, whether it's your child or another person's child, and I think the healthy human reaction is that child should be protected and not exploited and hurt. And if your reaction to seeing a child is, I want to get sexually aroused to seeing that child in pain, there's a problem, and society needs to deal with that. And yes, we need to heal society, and these people need to be healed.
But healed of what though? Healed from what though? Healed from what?
Huh?
These people need to be healed. You said they need to be healed. Healed from what?
Oh, because I don't even think it's like this last guy, Mark Mallow.
What is it exactly they need to be healed from?
That's a good question, and we're still trying to figure it out.
Do you think it's pedophilia they need to be healed from? I think personally, I think Jesse's right on this. It's anger. Okay, so that's why I'm pointing this out. That's why you may, and I know, I guess I've maybe said some ignorant things, and I apologize. I appreciate the information there, but I still think the central spirit of what I'm getting at here it remains, and is really the part that interests me, is that I think it's quite fascinating that what people need to be healed from is not pedophilia, is this evil anger and thoughts and this judgment. And so when you see it like that, I find it hard to see much difference between someone who is committing these horrible things to children and the person who feels, like you described, a visceral reaction. Let me ask you, do you feel the same visceral reaction when you see, I don't know, any other kind of evil, or only is it when it's children?
I mean, it's especially poignant when it's children. And okay. Jesus taught that too. I mean, it's a Christian teaching of Jesus.
To be especially viscerally feeling something over children?
What you do to the least of mine, you are actually doing to me. Right? When you do something to a more powerful person, Jesus actually...
That doesn't mean feel something viscerally, though.
What do you think I mean when I say feel something viscerally? I mean like a natural, raw, human emotion that's
you just use the Bible verse to... You just use the Bible verse to... I cut you off. My apologies.
No, it's okay. That this is a natural human reaction to seeing we want to protect our youth, right? Our 80-year-olds and our 70-year-olds, yeah, we want to protect them, but they're done. They're done with the reproduction cycle. They are over, right? Mm-hmm. What we feel a reaction to protect as men are our childbearing aged women and our children. And as men, we want to protect these people just as a society. That's what we need to have to make society go forward.
You're not wrong. Hey, can I ask you something? Why do you think one of the requirements for protect, because I don't disagree, right, that you can deem children more necessary to protect than whatever. That being said, how come you need to feel something viscerally about it to protect them more effectively and fulfill everything you just said? Help me understand why that's a requirement, to feel something viscerally about them.
I didn't say it was a requirement.
Okay, my bad. Do you see it as a requirement? It sounds like in what you're saying, it sounds like you see it as the very same thing, almost a prerequisite to protecting the children. You need to be feeling something viscerally. You even use the Bible verse to justify it. Help me understand. I may be putting words in your mouth.
I don't need a Bible verse to justify it. So I'm going to explain it. Okay?
Thank you.
It is such a naturally ingrained, deep-seated part of the human experience to want to protect young women and children from violence and death that are in your community, that when you see a little baby and your thought isn't, and you see a little baby and it's in danger and it's in pain, and your thought isn't, I should try to, it's right there, I should try to help that baby not be in that pain, right? Mm. When you record that baby being in pain and then you jerk off to that,
totally,
you're almost not even human. You're definitely outside of our society, right? You have lost
They're worse than
fundamental
are they worse than someone else?
Of what it means to be a human being in our society. Whatever that is, that's dead in you. And what I've known, from doing this it's okay, man. There's obviously a delay and stuff. What I've known from doing this over and over again is that there is not been found any sort of cure or source for this hatred. We don't know where it comes from, and no one's been able to get rid of it, right? So this guy that we just got 131 years on, when we caught him trying to meet with a minor, he was out on bond for possession of instant pee, right? Mm-hmm. Pee that he had plastered all up on his wall. Mm-hmm. He was a band teacher at a junior high school. He was taking pictures of his kids' posteriors and stuff while they were bending over. He had them printed out and pictured up in between all these infants getting R-worded.
Wow.
The police called it a dungeon of horror. They said, we don't really have the records, but we're pretty sure this is the kind of guy that pays people to R-word their kids and send them videos of it. And, you know, it's kind of important to stop people like this, and that's why he got the record sentence in Texas of 131 years. Just, you know,
and that guy maybe
like
even deserves to be that. I don't doubt that at all, man. Look, I think we can put people away for 131 years and also overcome anger and not judge and hate the people you put away in 131 for 131 years. It sounds like you somewhat see the wisdom of not hating and not becoming what you hate. And that's really all I wanted to point out. I think you've brought some interesting inside information on this whole practice. But it sounds like, if I may get this out, if you'll allow me, if I may explain, because I think I now understand you a little bit better, so thank you for that. And this is how I see that whole thing, because the crux here, I think, is when what we're combating here, in a sense here, essentially is what? It's evil. And something I've come to understand of evil is that it's actually the same. Evil is evil is evil. And there isn't level. Evil is real. Yeah, that's we're you know, and but we're talking to 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎.
That's where my name comes from.
We're talking to 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know this is evil is real.
I know,
That's where I got my name from. Making sure that people understood that this is evil.
And so
that's where that name comes from.
And fair enough, but look, something I've come to understand about evil is that its nature is that it is the same in all people, and it wants you to think. It wants you to think that it's the different in this person and that person, because it wants you to commit the greatest evil of all, which is to judge. So I because I know that about evil, I know how to then deal with and behave with it better. It's not a passive. It's not an allowing of pedophilia and all this. It's not an acceptance or justification of it. But instead, when you realize, because I know the nature of evil in that sense, I now know how to combat it correctly. And the correct way of combating it is not fighting it and not going along with evil's temptation to judge what it calls other things evil, okay? And then you start getting closer to dealing with true evil. So that's why I wouldn't go around having a visceral response or an extra response, or thinking even halfway thinking that this person, that these people you're describing are somehow more evil or worse than someone else. I don't even get into that scenario, into that world.
All right, I will proffer right now.
Can you say that again?
By you saying, I will say right now that by you saying these people are acting from hatred, that is judging why they're doing it more than what I'm saying. I'm just saying the action is evil.
Do you think it's love?
I'm not. But you saying that these guys are doing it out of hatred.
Do you think it's love?
Huh?
Do you think they're doing it out of love?
No, I think they're doing it out of a mental illness.
I don't think we need to be. Oh, okay. You're saying I'm more judgmental because I'm going farther. I don't know. I think I don't think it's that deep, man. It's quite easy. You either act out of love or hate. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you don't have to act from any emotion at all. You can just act because you have no emotions, right? Like a sociopath.
Oh, I don't know if that's real.
Right?
I don't believe that.
Okay. So
I think all these people are acting out of emotion. There is
you are making a judgment that people are acting out of hate.
I just never found anyone who acts out of no emotion. I've never found that. I've never seen that ever. Example, I've never even seen that once in my life. Someone that acts out of no emotion. You only act from emotion. You don't act out of no emotion. I've just never seen that.
Do you think lust is an emotion?
Love? No.
Right. I mean, no, lust.
Lust. Yes.
An emotion?
Yes.
So instead of operating out of love or evil, they could also just operate out of lust, right?
No, it's wait.
Out of out of trying to satiate my dopamine reaction whenever I do something over and over and over and over again, and it's just a drug addiction, right?
In a sense, I'd go farther. I like the language you're using because I understand you, but I think in my opinion, I think the ultimate conclusion, if you want to take what you're saying all the way home, you take it to anger. And anger explains the drug addicts. Anger explains all the things you're talking about. But I think you're absolutely correct. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you this. So I talked to this guy's, I talked to Mark Mallow's dad in the hallway of the courtroom after his son had got found guilty, but before the sentencing had happened. And man, that was one heck of a conversation to have with this guy, right? Like, he had no idea. He was letting his son live at his house and not going into his room, but since his dad had gone through his room, he wasn't going to go through his son's room or check up on him. And he said, I just had no idea that this was happening with my son. He had a good job. He was working at a school. He was the band teacher. And this guy was just crying. He's like, my wife had cancer. And as soon as he got busted for possession of CP, she had a heart attack. Right. And then as soon as his mom died, right, he just picked up, he got all of his equipment confiscated. So he got his mom's phone, dude, and just filled it up with thousands more videos of infants getting R-worded. And I'm sitting here talking to his dad about his history, and his dad was like, dude, this didn't really come out of like, if he was operating out of hate, there wasn't a real catalyst in his life to have caused it. Right. Not at this level, right? And I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm saying, dude, this is such a mystery why some people get this way, and they come from all walks of life, right? They're financially poor, they're financially well off. They were abused as a kid, they were never abused as a kid. They had parents that loved them, they had parents that were overbearing, they had parents that gave them freedom. It just like happens, dude. Like there is like some wiring that is broken.
I think you're misunderestimating something, man. Sincerely, I think you might be misunderestimating the pernicious nature of think about this, man. Think about a child, and you might think this so innocent. Think about a child who fibs and just does like little fibs. My friend, I was hanging out with my friend. It's like, oh, he's always fibbing. He's just a kid. I think you're misunderestimating how how that can get intertwined with the ego, and that nature just grows over years. This nature of, oh, I'm going to take the easy way out. Think about, I don't know, maybe smoking pot or whatever whatever thing people use to cope with life. That same spirit of giving in, this is just easier, let me cope. That very same person can I don't know if you see this, but don't you see the pathway from that all the way to what you're talking about? You don't see the direct line from that?
I do.
Exactly. I think it happens over time, like you said, and it's just interesting. I think there are mysterious things, but I think you're misunderestimating just how pernicious and how far that ego goes. And it starts young.
No, what I'm saying is that's one pathway, right? Then there's another pathway. And there seems to be hundreds, if not thousands of pathways here. And so when we start talking about, instead of focusing on protecting the kids from these predators, instead let's focus on healing these predators. It's like treating cancer, right? But you're like, there's 1,000 different types of cancer. You can't just, well, let's just treat cancer. It's like, you got to figure out how to treat 1,000 different forms of cancer when you're talking about pedophilia. You got to figure out how to heal 5,000. It's almost every single situation. I want to say it's like it's its own unique reason and hurt that they're dealing with. And yes, we could give them counseling, but out of all the counseling I mean, dude, we have so much history on this, right? And it is
why save them?
Baffling. It is baffling to psychiatrists, psychologists. As soon as these guys get out of prison, they're reoffending. As soon as this guy posted bond, he got his mom's phone and filled it all back up and tried to meet with the minor and rape the minor again. And it's like,
there's no saving
we're trying
them.
we're actually really trying to figure this out.
Have you realized there's no saving people?
Oh, we've saved hundreds of people. I don't know what you're talking about. If this guy is paying people if he's paying people to rape their children and send him the videos, and now this guy that's funding them is in jail, that's less kids get it. When we catch a mom
that guy's still into the dirty stuff. Okay, I'll leave him.
A mom that is selling her kids to CP producers, and the kids get taken into custody, and the mom goes to prison. Those are 3 kids that got saved.
No, the kid, no, the predator or whatever is still into all that crap. The kids are the mother,
Out there to sell
and the
for
kids are
to
still
the
and the kids are
predators.
still angry. So you haven't shown me anyone saved.
Oh, dude, being angry
is being in hell
you know
and
how
not
much
saved.
You know, dude, you know how much more of a lifetime of anger you have once you have been forcibly raped at the age of 6?
Exactly.
And
So you agree with me that person's not saved after being raped, and that even if you got in there and put the guy in jail.
We
So you
saved
agree
them
with me?
before. We didn't wait until after they got raped. We saved them before they got sold.
Oh.
Well, we don't wait until the kid gets raped, dude, for the police to come.
I thought it was like you put the guy in jail after he, I don't know, committed whatever. And,
yeah,
you're saying that
this one
now people are saved.
on the mother that went to prison. She got put to prison after we were posing. So we were posing as not me, or we had a caller posing as, instead of posing as a child, they were posing as a pred, right? And they were like trying to figure out who these guys were in the CP trading room. And then this lady offered to freaking sell her kids. And so we made a fake meetup. They called the attorneys knew about it. They called the police knew about it. They made a fake meetup to buy this girl's kids off of her for like 6 hours in a hotel room. And she showed up with her kids, and the kids got taken into child protective custody, and she went to prison. That was 3 children being saved, dude. Because if it wasn't us, she was going to be on that site filled with people, and she was on that site to sell her kids to get drug money.
I got you, man.
Anyway, I was just hoping to shed some light on this. It's not like we're not sincere. You went as a right. So when Alex, who's the head of Predator Poachers, he's been on Alex Jones and stuff before. When he went to court, the defense attorney, he's like, so you just do this for fame and clicks and money, right? And he's like, well, actually, Bexar County offered to pay for my hotel room and my fees and everything to come here. I turned them down because I don't think taxpayers should have to do this. He's like, I built my own channel, and I do everything off of people donating to do this because this should just be a donation thing, and I don't think the taxpayers should have to pay just to live in a society that's free. And so this isn't just about money. It's really not about fame. I mean, these people live this guy lives out of a van because he is constantly traveling to catch people. I mean, imagine being 350 pounds, 6'5", and living out of a minivan, right? It's a sacrifice. And I mean,
like he's got his demons.
I don't know, bro. Like, I mean,
hey, look, that was more of a joke than anything. It's kind of nasty to start off an interview like that. I agree with you, man. Hey,
I know, but look,
you gotta move the wheels
YouTube,
here shortly. Sorry, go ahead.
You guys have a YouTube channel. This guy's got a YouTube channel, right?
Yes, sir.
This guy saves kids and locks up pedophiles. You guys pretty much have like a Dear Abby and Landers like self-help hotline going on.
Well, thank you, man.
You're welcome. Hey, peace out, man. Have
big time, man. Call me again. I actually really appreciate this. Thank you, sir.
Make sure you read my super chat, jerk.
Let me get to that. Oh, dang. We didn't know. You were in the Ballers Lounge. I'm sure they brought you there. Thank you, sir. Call me again.
Peace out. Bye.
Hold up. We're landing very shortly here. So I appreciate the patience, folks. We're turning off the phone lines here. The flight attendants will be coming down shortly to put up all your trays. Put your tray in the up position. You got to put your phone in airplane mode. Put away your laptops. We are landing in no time at all. Holy crap. We are way closer than I thought. All right, folks. I appreciate that. We'll read the super chats once we get down there. Kick back. We got to get down there now. Like now. This is way too hot. whoa. What the heck? I didn't even touch the ground. I still had another 1,000 feet. What the? I got distracted with the call. We were supposed to go down another 1,000 feet, but I didn't even touch the ground and it stopped the simulator. What the? This is why I don't fly with realism controls. See, no, I don't kill you every week. Don't lie. Couples liked. I don't get you guys killed every week. This is a rare occurrence, okay? This may have happened frequently recently, but don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. We another Boeing scandal. See, this is why I don't fly with realism, with the realism setting on. I didn't even touch the ground. It's like if you have the realism on, it should at least let you touch the ground and then tell you you crashed. But I had another like 1,000 feet. No, let's back up the footage. I had like another 1,000 feet. Oh, I got distracted with the call. I had another 700 feet. And you're telling me that's a collision? You're going to tell me that's a collision? In what world? In what world? Folks, we do appreciate your continued patronage here on Anchor Baby Airlines, Nick Stream, and all that. And even if you didn't arrive safely, you had fun, I hope so. Your bodies and DNA, the DNA has been taken from your seats, as we do every flight, so that you can be cloned. It's on us, complimentary cloning and all that, because you never know what might happen on an extreme flight and all that. But that's it from me, folks. Okay, look, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm not too happy about it. All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the flight. I hope you enjoyed the show, the calls, and all that. I will be back for more. Stay tuned. Hit the likes and the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss when we go live. Sometimes we do a Saturday stream and we get down. Sunday, we will be here for church, so don't miss it. rebuildingtheman.com/church. And, of course, Monday, back at it again. But, thank you. Take care. Mm-hmm.